to bring you, honey?
Ho, ho, ho! I am the Pumpkin King!
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Test!
Oh, that cut off quicker than I was expecting. I'm like over here, fixing my mic. I'm like, oh, there's got to be about like 8 seconds left. I'm just gonna fix the, and then it popped off. Hey, well, hey everybody. I was not.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, talk about a cold opening right there.
Yeah, Joe Rogan jump scare. There you go. Boom.
The Rogaine be working.
Oh yeah.
What's up today? It's weird. We usually don't stream 2 weeks in a row, but it's a little busy in the coming weeks.
Yeah,
so
actually,
doing 2 weeks in a row. I'm actually going to have a fairly busy weekend. I'm on this stream this week today. Tomorrow on Brownies. Monday I'm on with
Cannoli and then Rocky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you're gonna have so much fun with Cannoli and Rocky.
Man,
I'm so glad he got you on for that stream.
Yeah, I completely forgot about it too. I was like, I saw the Twitter post pop. I was like, fuck, I forgot about that stream. I agreed to it like weeks ago.
Dude, it's same like the Cannoli plans it the same way as us, man. Like weeks in advance, so it's good. At least you have a proper heading. But dude.
I mean, I've seen there's probably there's very few movies I've seen more than Rocky in my life, and one of them happens to be A Nightmare Before Christmas. So
really,
we'll get into that in the background section. But how are you doing today, my friend?
Dude, I'm doing great. I'm tired because I've been editing the Marvels video since yesterday, like morning. So yeah, it's pretty good, man. But yeah, I can't wait to dive into this and go back into stream mode because damn, I've been editing nonstop. And just want to say hello to everyone in the chat.
Hi, chat. Editing,
Hi, chat.
man. If you do it for too long, I don't know if you get it, but I get this like massive pain in the back of my neck because I'm always like leaning in like this.
Yeah, dude, me it's my neck and my shoulders.
Yeah. It's because I'm always like looking at like the timeline to see where the timing is, and I'm getting so close to it. But anyway, no one wants to hear about those problems. I use Hit Film Express.
Oh yeah, okay.
Which it's not bad. I mean, it does what it does. But let's get some people in here, shall we?
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's get in the guests.
Yeah. Making his second appearance in as many weeks. He's actually, first of all, I want to say all regulars today. Everybody here has been on the channel before. So making his appearance in as many weeks is Stupenzo, who we can see the background of his room right now.
I got the door open so the cats can bother me. I also got my coffee right here ready to go. Let's see if this works.
I can see it.
And there you go. Coffee spilt all over the keyboard, all over the computer, and it's done. Stream over for Stupenzo.
Is this cup gonna turn colors? I don't know. It should.
What does it turn to?
Never mind. Maybe it'll happen later. I don't know. Anyway, how are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Good, man. Yeah.
Saturday morning.
Say it. It's afternoon for me. It's evening for Uninspired.
It's like 7 p.m. over here, man. Jesus.
But so Lance added something to the stage. That was weird. I guess we'll bring in Lance next because he added something to the stage. But let's go. Wait, which one is he now?
He's this one.
Yeah. Yes, I'm on the left.
There we go.
Hey,
Lance also making his second appearance in as many weeks, but it was more of a cameo last week. So
true.
Yeah. Good to be back on.
The cup did change colors.
Yep, did.
There you go.
Christmas cup.
How you doing today, Lance?
Well, I'm recovering from the shock of receiving an £818 gas and electric bill, which is also for months I've already paid. So it's there's actually a live stream of a call with me on the phone to their customer service where I escalated the complaint because I'm not paying that. And
man,
I got a bill through for £348. I complained that was too high. They said, "Oh, that's wrong. We're sending you another one." Yeah, they sent me another one that's like almost 3 times as much. So
I had something similar to that happen. So I don't know exactly how they do it in England, but like for us, they send someone around to like look at your meters and stuff, and then they bill you. And they definitely whoever did their math wrong because like I was like, "There's no way." And I remember it was like right at the beginning of COVID.
Yeah,
and they gave me like, it was like a 500. Yeah,
I
sorry.
said COVID.
Oh god. But no, and it was like a $500 electric bill. I was like, "There's no way." They were like, "Well, you used like this many megajoules or whatever the fuck it is." And,
Oh, dude, it's happened to me too.
and I went outside and I literally took a picture and I was like, "I don't even have that many on the meter. I don't know where you came from with that." And they were like, "Oh, they must have math wrong." And they ended up owing me a credit for like 2 months.
Well, that's actually pretty cool, man. Like it happened to me once, but the bill totaled up to I think 11 or 12K. I forgot. So
Yeah, I mean, I complained already this summer, and they did that. They sent somebody out. I got the bill reduced for the summer bill. I paid it, and now they're trying to, hit me for money for bills I've already paid. It's utter bullshit.
I agree. Just tell them that you're actually Harry Potter at a rave. What the?
Yeah, exactly. With Dobby.
That's my new. If you want to share that picture I put up, this is another one from the same. That's
Alan Rickman.
That's Alan Rickman getting it down. Do you know what?
Yeah.
I bet. I mean, God rest his soul. He's no longer with us, but I bet he would have absolutely loved that picture. I can't.
Oh, he would have laughed his ass off.
He would. He would. I can't take credit for this AI photo, but somebody called Fernando popped up on my stream with it, and there's a whole load of them. They've got like a whole series of them. All created like they're all getting. I love this one with him on his own.
Hold on. We gotta at least get Rennie in here so she can laugh.
Mate,
so don't go any further. Don't go any further.
Yeah.
I'll do the quick intro. She's married and she's the empress of the channel. Okay, now you can laugh with us, Rennie.
So where did these come from again, Lance?
So these are AI generated. Somebody put in Harry Potter and rave. And
that's amazing.
And basically, this is what they've come up. Yeah, so that's Draco Malfoy. This is the one I use for my avatar, which is just super cool.
I like the one you showed a second ago with Snape in it, or Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
That's actually terrifying looking, right? That one. I love how that's definitely. Wait, if you go back real quick. I like how it's definitely like it's a red. It's like a full size red Solo cup, but it looks like a shot glass in his hand.
Yeah,
and there's 2 Hagrids. Yeah, what's with the Hagrid in the background?
There's some other horrific Hagrid ones later.
It's like Hagrid. Like Hagrid's dad, and then Hagrid in the background.
Maybe Hagrid's the bear of the party.
Maybe every wizard kid gets his own Hagrid. You know,
quite possibly. There's one of him passed out in the bathroom.
Yeah, that was
like. Oh my god.
Further down.
I like how this has nothing to do with A Nightmare Before Christmas, but fuck it, let's go.
It's a similar tone. I would say
it's because Harry Potter actually, I think there's a movie for every season of the year. So
pretty much, or they cover all the seasons during the movies.
Yeah,
exactly. That is the awkward placement of that beer can, though, is a little.
I thought of that. Yeah.
Dumbledore.
That's Dark Hour last Saturday.
Yes, that stomach's about accurate.
I mean, these are uncannily real. It's just really quite.
Well, they have a lot. So the way like the AI art works is it basically pulls from like real things and then kind of like blends them together. And since there's like so much to work with Harry Potter, it definitely has a lot to pick and choose from.
That's Harry Potter with the biggest sherbet dib dab known to man. So just to be clear, that is a shot of candy.
He is technically a Scarface, right?
Oh yeah,
that is true.
Anyway,
did you just say that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
dad jokes are welcome here. I love how we are not.
Sure. Dude, there are lots of Lord of the Rings ones like this. I think I saw Gandalf and Frodo at a rave.
Oh yes, that was pretty creepy but funny. But creepy.
All right.
So should we get to the movie we actually came here to talk about?
Yeah,
we must.
Hey Z, before we start, hello to you, chat. We all see you, especially Z3PO.
Hi, everybody.
But yeah. So
this one's for you.
Thank you, Iceman. Yes, I loved making that video, and I did it in such a tight window that like I had no very little margin for error because I wanted to get it out quickly, and so I had to make sure I had to record every line perfectly each time I did it. I couldn't go back and redo it. So
I haven't seen your Marvels video yet.
I definitely loved making.
Don't bother watching it, Lance.
I mean, I'm not watching the film, so I figure kind of watching videos about the film. I'm not going to watch.
And Stupenzo makes my thumbnails, and I mean, granted, it was just a morph of an existing picture on this one, but he nailed it. He got it he made it look well.
I just took orders.
Yeah, he's good at it, man. I'm not a good Photoshop guy, so to have a guy who's really good at it is a great thing. Tight window, yes, Iceman. It was a tight. So now that we're done talking about the Marvels for now, let's go with everybody's background with this film, starting with Stupenzo.
Man, I remember seeing this movie in a theater like as a little kid, empty theater around Christmas time, and I remember being kind of underwhelmed with it because how short it was. But it's one of those movies like. Yeah,
it's only like an hour or 15 minutes or something like that.
The more you take away from it, but yeah, it was like I saw it a few times in the theater. I remember, and I must have been like 10 or 12 years old, I think, or no, 8. When did this movie come out?
I think it came out in 93. Yeah, okay, this is the 30th anniversary. Almost every movie on the Two Hoes list is more than likely an anniversary movie. It's my easiest way to schedule is doing that.
True.
So.
Yeah, I love it though. I've always, thought it was a great, just like Harry Potter. It's like the best of both worlds with Halloween and Christmas, kind of dipping their toes in both. Is it a Halloween movie? Is it a Christmas movie? It's like doesn't matter.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Would you say that it sort of like inspired you to sing? Since you said that you watched it at such a young age, and you do sing,
I think Weird Al was a big inspiration for singing for me because I used to just like sing along with those, and then also Michael Jackson. Queen. But I don't think I really got into the lyrics of this movie. It was this most recent watch through. It was like really Sally's song and Jack and Sally's song were like really hit me in the feels this last time around. I was like, damn, this is great. I wish these were longer.
I mean, it's one of those movies that they waste no time on anything. It's every scene means something.
Well, they don't have time to waste, I think, actually.
I mean, they could have stretched it out if they want, but they were very
3 years to make, people.
Yeah, it took 3 years to make. I mean, I don't think an extra year would have mattered too much. And I think there was like 120 people that were just there to do the actual stop motion animation.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like it took a while to get going, actually, because Tim Burton had it took them a lot just to get this movie going, and plus it was adapted from a poem. I think that's it.
Yeah, it was a 3-page poem that he wrote, and
so not much source material there.
Essentially, he couldn't do it himself, which we'll get more into that because he was obligated to do Batman Returns, and he was knee deep in that. So when they started making this, he wasn't really available.
So just an FYI, you guys, there is a recording of Christopher Lee reading the poem. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And with that, Rennie, what is your background with the film?
Well, same thing as Stupenzo. This came out when I was a kid. I was a bit of a goth chick until I don't know. I think I'm still one at heart, but so this is a.
Rennie is currently sitting in a very dark room with black lipstick on, just like.
You laugh, but I used to totally do that.
Listening to the Smiths.
No, I don't like the Smiths. I said goth. Anyways, not emo. So I always have loved Tim Burton. I was very big into Edward Scissorhands and all of that. The whole Jack Skellington premise was amazing to me. I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. The fact that the king of Halloween or the Pumpkin King wanted to dabble his toes into Christmas was quite fascinating in my opinion, even though it wasn't a successful venture, but it's just, he was meant to be scary and a Halloween figure. So I love it. I love the love story between Jack and Sally. I'll be honest with you guys. I still sing along to all the songs when they come on. So last night while my husband went to bed before I did, so I rewatched this and I was singing along and I was like, oh, I better keep it down because I'm going to wake him up. So I don't know. I can't say enough good things about this movie. It's amazing stop motion animation, in my opinion, because unless you really know, they did a really great job with it, in my opinion. So they had some great voice actors. Yeah.
sometimes stop motion animation, probably because they took their time with it for the 3 years. Sometimes it looks a little jerky, like the
Yes.
motions.
Yes.
Here it doesn't. You don't feel. It doesn't look like that. So
No, it's completely smooth in my opinion, and having it in HD or 4K and all that, it's still like it's great. So
Yeah. This
Can't
is
say
one of those
enough
old
good
movies
things.
that would look
Mhm.
better in like crazy HD.
Well, I
yeah,
think they did do
amazing.
Disney made a Blu-ray 4K version, I think a couple of years back actually. So maybe that's the
Maybe.
version. Yeah.
This
I
is
don't know,
like
I
the
just-
first
It's-
feature length
it's
stop
good.
motion movie.
it was. Yeah, it was. It was
Mhm.
the first.
I
and
also
was
have it in
also-
3D, but I don't have a
Ooh.
3D TV. So
Ooh.
It was also Stupenzo. It was also the first stop motion animation movie to be rated PG by the
Yeah.
MPAA as well.
Yeah, they were all rated R, hard R,
Mhm.
and NC-17 before that.
What the fuck? Really?
Shocking. They were all rated G.
No, they were all G movies. It was
Yeah.
like, but most of them were like, a lot of times those were like TV specials and stuff. That's
Yeah,
why.
Rudolph
Yeah.
the Red-Nosed
Yeah.
Reindeer and all those. What's
Which
his
actually,
name? made
Tim
those?
Burton considered doing this as a
Special.
TV special, right? Which is one of the reasons why it's so short. Originally, it was like thought of as like basically like something that would have commercials as well,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it didn't happen that way.
The cool
But-
thing I heard was like the poem was inspired by him seeing them taking down the Halloween decorations
Yes.
and putting up Christmas decorations and like seeing like
It was the
aisle with, like,
juxtaposition of the
yeah.
two of them. Yeah.
yeah, together.
But yeah.
Lights going
But,
off in your head,
Yeah.
Lance, what is your background with the film?
I saw it at the cinema. I would have been a teenager. I can't remember who I saw it with or exactly when, because that's from a period of my life where my memory is not very good. But I can tell you this. So back then, it was a big thing for films that did well to come out on retail as a VHS for $9.99 as fast as possible. And the one that came out the Christmas before this, I believe, was Muppet Christmas Carol, and that sold absolutely thousands upon thousands of copies. So Nightmare Before Christmas did pretty well over here. The cinema I saw it in was packed. I do remember that. And when it came out, I know that I bought a VHS of it immediately, which I had for ages. I got it on DVD now. I really love the film. Not many films can necessarily work with kind of spontaneous songs in, but this one just does, which is is quite rare. But this one works for all ages with the songs. I love all the kind of subplots with things like accidentally kidnapping the Easter Bunny and all of that stuff. I think the film works equally well as a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie. It doesn't matter which. You can quite happily watch it either time. One thing that amazes me is that I can't believe that Disney or a like-minded company have not yet adapted this as a massive, big budget stage musical, because it's absolutely begging to be made. And they would do the creatures the same way as they do them in the Lion King, with sort of elaborate masks and kind of some puppetry and stuff. So it sort of keeps that feel of the film. And the buildings are all very the design of the buildings, if you used to read Dr. Seuss books as a kid, they're very Dr. Seuss with the curly roofs and all that kind of stuff. So that's just begging for elaborate stage design on set with revolving sets and all that kind of thing. I know if they do this as a big stage musical, it'll be a massive hit. So that's 3% for me, please, for suggesting that. But yeah, I mean,
I do agree with you, though. It definitely has like a gothic Dr. Seuss kind of feel to it. I never really thought of it like that, but that's a good way of putting
pretty good
it.
analogy.
I looked into it's like a dark Dr. Seuss tale. I looked into the rights at one point, and I even wrote to Tim Burton about that as well, because I was a stage director, and I was trying to see if I could, if I could be the person that could do it, but I never heard anything back. And I think he's been approached by it before, but he's very protective over it. One of the things that I didn't realize until recently, though, was that he didn't direct it. It was directed by Henry Selick.
That's correct.
He's
Yeah,
just the idea man and the producer, but it's called
That's
Tim
right.
Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, so I guess he was the driving force.
I mean, it's still a Tim Burton film because he came up with the idea, he wrote the poem, he produced it, he basically dictated the way he wanted everything, and that's a terrible use of that word, but or a terrible way to say that, but he told everybody exactly how he wanted it. So he was in control, but he did not direct it.
And then if it tanked, he could have just blamed it all on Henry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was a built-in excuse, basically.
Yeah. Tim Burton laid an egg. Henry Selick incubated it and hatched it.
Yeah, I mean,
Tim Burton gets all the credit.
I love.
And you guys, I met Chris Sarandon a few years ago, the voice of Talking Jack Skellington. I was just so in awe. I was like, "Oh my god!" And you know, I had him talk to me like Jack, and I thought that was really cool. And
I'd be so disappointed if I met him and he wasn't a 9-foot tall skeleton. I'd be very upset. I'd be like, "You're not tall enough."
Like
he's not far off.
He's not
far off.
So yeah.
So now I guess we get to Uninspired, who wasn't alive when this movie came out. So.
Oh yeah, I was
the baby of the group.
I was negative age when this came out. So
was there a screening in the ballsack video room?
Hell, I was probably an atom by then. I wasn't even.
I don't even think you were that.
I can't even with you right now.
That sounds like a plot for a Pixar movie right there. Uninspired gets to watch Nightmare Before Christmas while he's not yet born. He's kind of in the spiritual ether. That's a plot for a movie.
I bet you Disney would make it well. I mean, Tim Burton would probably.
No, Disney would not make it well. They would not make it well.
But I mean, in terms of the movie, I watched it a couple of times as a kid growing up. But it was never really my cup of tea, and I think I do blame that on the age because for me it was The Corpse Bride when I was growing up. That was what I used to watch a lot, and I think The Corpse Bride released in, let me check. So The Corpse Bride, released in 2005. So I'm born in 2002. It's more. it's more. Hey, go
star of the movie, in fact.
Yeah. I think I just broke my hip when I heard him talk about how young he is.
Did you just give birth to a pumpkin or something? What happened there?
And so like I've never had such a strong connection as you guys to the movie. However, I still do appreciate it. I watched it for the first time in I think well over a decade last Sunday. So yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It's nice and short, which is like good because a lot of these stop motion movies sometimes overstay their welcome, but most of them keep it relatively short, except for the stuff that I would say Leica does. But Leica, it's special, you know, the Leica Studios, people that do Paranorma and all those. Yeah. And I do appreciate them for keeping this medium alive. So yeah. What about you, Dark Hour? Joe Rogan?
I was actually. Joe Rogan. I was actually happy to hear that other people saw it in the theaters because my whole life, everybody I've ever talked to that liked the movie has never really seen it. Like they've never seen it in theaters. They only saw it home media. They maybe a re-release later, but they had never seen it in theaters. And I do remember when I was a kid, my father took me, and I think the theater had like nobody in it. I think it was. I mean, I was very young, so I don't remember, but if I recall correctly, there wasn't a lot of marketing for it, and that was one of the problems. It just kind of released. They were like, maybe they thought they were gonna be able to captivate because of the whole Halloween and Christmas crossover. They're like, oh, we'll just get both those crowds. We don't got to do a lot of marketing. And back then, marketing wasn't as big anyway. You know, like they would play a trailer like for a film like a year before it even came out as like a preview for a movie, and then you wouldn't hear about it for like 9 months. And so nowadays it's like the marketing budgets are bigger than the actual budget a lot of times of the films. But you know, I remember watching it and I was like, really, like from what I can remember, I remember I watched the whole thing. I was like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. And all of my 5 years on this planet, I've never seen anything this weird up to this point. And you know, and as I got older, I've watched it hundreds of times because it's one of those things you can put on. Well, it's so quick. It's an hour and change. You know, you could put it on as background noise. And
that's true.
You know, like, I mean, I watched it yesterday for the first time in a week. And it was, you know, like, and I mean, it's it's one of those movies that, like, no matter how many times I see it, I still pick out like something that I didn't notice last time, or maybe I hadn't noticed in a really long time and sort of forgot about. And that's just, I love things like that where you can find little. I actually noticed one, and then I looked it up I went to go check if it was true, and it was. I noticed it on this particular watch through. So when we get to that point of the movie, I'll talk about it. But yeah, so that's my background with it.
Awesome.
Thank you, Joe Rogaine.
Thank you, Joe Rogaine.
You're never gonna let that down, you know.
So
I got a haircut today. Joe Rogan doesn't get haircuts; he just shaves his head.
That's why you're Joe Rogaine.
He also has weird pointy nipples.
He also has like $1 billion that I don't have. So
why are you looking at his nipples uninspired?
Already, you haven't seen the picture of Joe Rogan's nipples. They look crazy.
Look, I wish I was
Benzo's nipples
because he's in an ice bath. He's in an ice bath, guys.
I wish I was in Joe Rogan shape, man. I'm in Joe Rogan shape.
So they're like glass cutters.
Yeah.
He probably just enjoys a good tweaking. You know, just leave him alone, man. His nipples' business of their own.
Oh, I will. Well, before we get in, let's check out some comments and some super chats. So from Professor R2, he's saying, "I've never finished this movie. It just doesn't appeal to me." Which
then you're probably not going to like this stream.
You're missing. Yeah, the ending is so sweet.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's short and sweet.
I don't even know. I'm just going to point out that to Professor R2, how could you not finish the movie? It's so short.
Yeah, man, it's not Killers of the Flower Moon part 2.
Or part 0.
People binge like 40-hour shows and be like, "Yeah, it was okay. It was mid." It's like, what? Why did you watch all of it then?
And for the sake of comments, actually agrees, and not really been crazy about the movie, which I appreciate it. I like it, but I'm not as crazy.
I will say this to both of you. I appreciate you tuning into the show, even though it's not a movie that you're really into. That shows a lot of support to us, and I love that about, like, you know, any kind of fandom. If when it comes to YouTube, sometimes you just tune in and they're not even talking about something you like, but you support them anyway. You know.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys.
I'm hoping
so much.
they might have some more
really
newfound respect. You know, especially when we get into like the metaphorical meanings of this movie. It's got a lot to say.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it does. It does have quite a lot to say. And then we've got Waylon Bucephus for $1.99. Thank you, Waylon. Christmas or Halloween? For me, it's a very, very easy answer, but I'll let you guys go first. This applies to the chat as well.
As far as this movie or favorite season?
Yeah, no, favorite holiday.
Favorite holiday.
Halloween.
If we're talking about this movie, I would say this movie is a Christmas movie for goths. For Halloween.
It was released on October 29th.
I go with Halloween on that too.
Yeah. It was released at Christmas in the UK, by the way.
In America, it was released right before Halloween and taken out of theaters right after Christmas. It literally ran the whole gamut of the entire that season. So it's pretty cool.
Pretty good.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good.
Yeah. For me, it's Halloween easy.
Yeah.
We didn't get Lance, I don't think. Lance, are you a Halloween or a Christmas person?
Well, I mean, you got to remember that until about 10, 15 years ago, when we finally gave into American commercialism, Halloween just wasn't a big thing over here.
Yeah. Right.
People didn't, you know, do up their houses and get bowls of confectionery and all the rest of it. Now people are coming up with all kinds of elaborate traps to sort of kill kids as they come in their driveways and things.
Yeah.
So
you guys had a serious... You guys actually had
popular.
like a serious clown problem a few years back, like creepy clowns walking around that permeated over the ocean to here. It was fantastic.
That was not a few years back. That was within the last year. There was a guy in a.
Oh, it's still going on.
It's still happening apparently.
There was a guy in a gimp suit with a clown mask who insisted in dressing this way and wandering around the village at night, which I mean isn't unusual at all. Dude, do what you want in your own home.
Small town.
You got to remember there are small children. Anyway, he was doing this on Halloween. Was this in Soho?
But that would make
sense.
No.
This is in a small town in rural England. This was not in. This was not in the red light
district.
Yeah, it's not.
I didn't get the answer.
Go ahead.
Oh well, so my favorite holiday, which won't make sense to the two of you, is Thanksgiving. So I'm actually not a huge fan of either Halloween or Christmas because they slowly closed in on my favorite holiday and crushed it to death.
Yeah,
So
Thanksgiving gets no love with commercialism. Like absolutely no love.
Yeah, because I mean,
it's
it's
the
historic
anti-commercialism.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Unless
also
you
the
work for a turkey
anti-commercialism.
company.
Yeah.
There's really not not a whole lot you could advertise, really. Like,
yeah,
but you
it's
get to watch trains,
anti-commercialism
planes,
one,
and automobiles for Thanksgiving. That's
which is
you
good.
know.
I like
So
Dutch.
There is
you get-
actually
Dutch is a good one.
Yeah, I would say that of our holidays in the United States, it's probably the one that's maintained the most traditions over the years. A lot of them have been absorbed by, like you said, commercialism, whereas like Thanksgiving, because of its, like Stupenzo just said, because it doesn't have, there's not much you could do. I mean, the food industry kind of commercialize it, but like there's not really gift giving or anything like that. So it's kind of the
celebration of peace.
No,
Exactly.
it should be changed to its true meaning. It should be called "Feel Sad" about John Candy. That should be the name of that.
No, it's to celebrate the Pilgrims and Native Americans.
Yes, I know, Rennie. That's cool.
and also and also the genocide of the turkeys.
Copo, I think Copa or
Turkey
someone was saying on
genocide. That's a
Twitter-
good. That's a good.
I think it was Copa
Turkey.
was on Twitter saying that he was joking that like in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, John Candy actually has his wife and his wife's body in the trunk of the car the whole time.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
Like, no.
But yeah,
joke?
but just to answer the question
hope
before,
it's a
because obviously we're getting bogged down. We should bog up. The
Uh-oh.
if I have to choose between the two, I'm more of a Christmas person than a Halloween person.
All right. Well, Waylon Besevis for another $1.99. Thank you, Waylon. Nightmare Before Christmas or Die Hard?
I'm gonna go for
motherfucker.
I'm going to go for Jack, armed with an MP5, and get the best out of both worlds.
Die
I'm
Hard
gonna be
is
the only person that says this, but Nightmare Before Christmas.
right. Yeah, Die Hard is literally my mother's favorite movie. I'm not joking. I've said it before. I'll say it
Nice.
again. It's her number
I
one.
I used to actually have a tradition. My friend has since moved to Florida, so I don't do this tradition anymore. But his birthday was Christmas Eve. Well, it is Christmas Eve. He hasn't changed his birthday. It's Christmas Eve, and so like he wouldn't get a lot of people to like visit him and stuff because people are traveling. And I would make it a point to go and hang out with him for a few hours on his birthday in between, going to different houses and stuff. And we would watch Die Hard. And then I'd be like, I'd go on my merry way. But every year I would show up at his house at around like 7:00. We'd watch Die Hard. I'd go and I'd leave. And it was like for like 8-9 years straight. And eventually he moved to Florida. And now we just kind of.
Dude, you can do it. You can do it here this year. You can come to mine. We can watch Die Hard. Then
I'll just fly home. It's just like,
no, stay there. Then I won't be on my own for Christmas. So just hang out. Your wife will be fine. You can Skype the kids on Christmas Day, and then we'll just like watch movies. Fine.
For me, it's Die Hard for sure. 100% Die Hard.
I like them both though.
I've just seen Die Hard more times. That's why I lean towards it more. But
I must have watched Die Hard 500 times at least.
I think I've seen both of those movies about the same amount of times, probably.
I've seen it over 20 times in the cinema. So.
Oh wow. So we've got a couple of people in the chat that suggested that Black Friday is the real holiday. And yes, Gord King does enjoy Friday of Color. He does. Iceman says he enjoys Black History Month quite a lot. I think that's in February.
Black History Friday.
Oh yeah, Black History Friday. Smilek says that prefers Shark Week, which
Shark Week is actually always on my birthday. So it's always the first week of August. So
nice. And Waylon saying Black Friday is the real Thanksgiving holiday.
Not a single. All these boomers. Nobody's talking about Cyber Monday. Black Friday is so yesteryear.
Well, because Cyber Monday is more expensive than Black Friday. Sadly, until Cyber Monday can compete, then I'll agree with that.
There's also here's a life hack for everybody out there. Just start celebrating Orthodox Christmas, which is about a week and a half after regular Christmas. You will get so many discounts from people returning things. Not even and things being marked on clearance.
Oh yeah,
life hack. Just be Orthodox.
All right. Well, I'll switch. And I guess we can go into the movie now, unless you guys have something else to add.
Nah, I think we've actually drawn out long enough. Let's get into the movie.
Well, I mean, the movie is short.
One of those 108 stills that you've got lined up for us.
That's like one for every minute of the movie.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, it is actually
almost.
Like you guys, if Brown did the stream, there would be probably 3 times as much.
I could talk about this movie way longer than I could talk about Die Hard. I think, like one of them, like Thanksgiving, like in between Christmas and Halloween, this movie gets compared as a Thanksgiving movie, but like just kind of like Thanksgiving, like how Jack Skellington gets tired of, being the king. That's how I am about Thanksgiving dinner. I'm so tired of it. I like to spice it up, do different stuff every Thanksgiving, man.
Well, dude,
whenever I come to
do
America,
you go to someone else's house?
I always make my own food, but like
Whenever
lately
you
it's
come
like lately it's like barbecue one year. I did Italian food another year, just over the turkey and stuffing and stuff.
Ooh.
Uninspired. What were you gonna say when you come to America?
I was saying when I come to America, I'm coming during Thanksgiving just so that I can.
Yeah, we'll make a traditional Thanksgiving. If you come
One of these years.
You can come to my parents' house.
Hey, yeah. I mean, hell,
Telling you,
I've got to pay for the
uninspired.
flight,
I'm not even kidding you. You have never seen as much food as you will see on that day at any house that does it for real.
True.
You've never seen as much food.
I did a Thanksgiving with a black family in Florida, and you know how that came about was because we gave up our table for these two people who were waiting for a table in a restaurant during the Florida Classic. All the restaurants were full, and they were so chuffed. They invited us, these two white young guys from England, invited us back to their family for Thanksgiving, and all the kids were like, "Who are these dudes? Your accent's so weird." And man, they had one table full of food in one room and another table full of food in another room. And that was just like, before we got to desserts. Their food was amazing, man.
All I know
Dude, it is the gut-bustingest holiday ever.
This is the cranberries industry. The cranberry industry's time to shine. This is where
I'd either come like in Thanksgiving or 4th of July to see how it is there. But
every year for 4th of July, the yearly declaration of war upon the sky is fantastic.
Yeah,
it's it's we're just like
fuck
you, sky.
Oh yeah. But
4th of July, honestly, that's a fun one too. When we get to that, don't worry. We'll have some cool stuff for that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is the nightmare before Christmas. Technically, it is Halloween. I mean, I guess. Well, I mean, it's
the
Thanksgiving
nightmare after
now.
Halloween.
Yeah, basically. But thank you guys in the chat for sticking with us for about 40 minutes, just riffing about holidays.
That's going to be the most interesting part.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's a short movie, so. Yeah, so let's get into it. First off, we've got Walt Disney, ladies and gentlemen. Walt Disney Pictures, which back when they were good, back when they were Dark Howard, did you just
back before the South Park logo?
This is like proof that Disney actually could make quality entertainment when they put their minds to it. So, prior to the whole KK debacle, like Disney actually has great original content. So, it's sad what they've become, but at least we can
I
still
would say that
Disney
from like the late 80s into the early 90s, they just hit so like it was everything they released for like about like that 10-year gap.
Well,
and
even
they got
some stuff like Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. Maleficent was actually pretty good. It was like
I'm just saying around the era when this came out, because it was like they had perfected, because up to that point for years it was like, because of production cycles and stuff, they movies came out and a lot of them were all really good, but it was slower. And then from like the late 80s through the 90s, they kind of perfected that, like the method they use now, which they use ineffectively, of pumping things out, but it was all quality. And so this was in that range of that.
Can I just say this slide is incorrect?
Yeah, I have bad news for you guys. Yeah, this is not a Disney movie. This is a Touchstone Pictures film.
Yeah, I was about to say that it was released through the Touchstone label, which was the
Touchstone
adult film section of Disney.
Disney didn't have faith in this movie. Yeah,
stream over. Okay, sorry guys.
All right, sorry everyone.
No, it was when it came to video, it was released through the Disney because it done well, but they thought it was too dark for kids, so they wanted it released through Touchstone to protect themselves in case people complained. And they said, well, Touchstone label, it's the adult label, but soon it took off, and then when on re-release, this label was then stuck on it. So.
Everyone,
stream
you
over.
You can flag us
had a
for
mistake.
misinformation. That's it.
Misinformation.
We're done. And, Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. And we start off with the holiday worlds of old, which, I kind of like the way that they presented them. got,
Yeah, like the different doors through this kind of portal section is one of my
Mhm.
favorite concepts for the film. You get to see the one with the turkey with Thanksgiving. And
Yeah.
Yep.
Also,
There's even
this-
St. Patrick's. Yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Sebastian.
So,
if you the
Clever.
one that you don't see, it's very hard to see, but it's like a one frame before they move it. There is actually like a red, white, and blue one that's supposed to be like
Yes, it's very hard to see.
that's
but
supposed to represent either for Americans it would represent like our summer holidays of 4th of July, Memorial Day, and then
Yeah.
what is it? What's the equivalency in England? I forgot. I had it written down because I like had to look it up.
red, white, and blue.
Yeah, there was like
What's your patriotic
I'll
holidays?
yeah, like your like patriotic holiday. I'll
Patriotic
remember
holiday.
I don't know
I
that
have
we
no idea.
we haven't got one like the Queen's
true.
birthday or anything. We got Boxing Day.
Boxing
which you
Day?
guys-
Yeah,
guys
Boxing
don't
Day.
have.
That's
Flag
pretty
Day.
much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is this is one of 4 shots in the movie that's filmed in 24 frames per second. The opening scene, and there's a few others, but this is not
Nice.
actually stop motion. It's great.
Yeah.
There's a few of them, and they look awesome.
And,
Wow.
we get our first look at Jack. There he is, just chilling. This is Jack, right?
No,
Yes,
that's
with the
a
Yes,
pumpkin.
yes.
sign.
Yeah.
No,
No,
that's
it is
because
Jack.
He
It is
takes
Jack.
the pumpkin off whenever he goes in the water or whatever.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I always
The
found
weird
weird.
dude.
He's just chilling out there in a field, just
like a scarecrow.
Yeah.
I
So
think it's
when I
part of
looked it up-
parade, though, the after
Yeah.
Halloween
The Halloween
or the
parade.
So when I
commits-
looked
or-
it up, the 7 doors, there was obviously the Halloween one, the decorated Christmas tree, the turkey for Thanksgiving, the egg for Easter, the 4-leaf clover St. Patrick's Day, red heart for Valentine's Day, and then there's the red, white, and blue firework one, and it says that it can either represent one of the American holidays like 4th of July or Independence Day and Memorial Day, or British Bonfire Night, which I meant to ask you about. What is
yes,
that?
November
Guy
November the
Fawkes Day?
5th. That's
Yeah,
November
Guy
the
Fawkes
5th.
Oh.
Yeah.
Guy Fawkes Day. That's just say
Oh.
that. We know
Guy
that.
Fawkes. Guy Fawkes.
Oh, that's what
Day.
that is. I didn't realize that was the
We
same thing.
Americans.
That's when we stopped a madman from blowing up the Houses of Parliament. Although the way things are now, I wish he'd succeed.
Kind of. I was gonna say, don't you kind of wish he did?
Well, you
I
know,
mean,
There's
it's
also
funny. Go
the
ahead,
same day
Spender.
that Doc Brown invented came up with the idea for the flux capacitor, November 5th,
Yep.
1950.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Which actually was caused by something in the British timeline. So we can claim.
Well, you know, it's funny because I forgot that because since I went to a private British school when I was like a very, very young kid. They actually taught us about Guy Fawkes. They're like, oh yeah, remember,
You're still a young
remember."
kid.
Well, a younger,
A younger kid. When he was a kitten, damn it. When he was a kitten.
Yeah, when it was
Oh,
just
the wee little kitten.
a wee little kitten. And yeah, so I really do like the way that they added the I guess this is 2D Ghost, yeah, because they
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's almost
Yeah.
like I have a feeling that they utilize some sort of like really early CGI for that.
Mhm. I think so too. That's what it looks like to me.
Oh man,
This
then
is
you've got
one of
all
the-
these weird
yeah.
creatures.
This is a fantastic intro for getting like the
It's a-
world explanation out
Yeah,
of the way
it's-
quickly.
Yes.
It's an amazing sequence. Really, really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. Did anyone ever have like a creepy sort of castle poster? They used to sell them at Halloween, and it was all silhouettes of like ghosts and witches with all the.
I
spies
think
and
I've
things like
seen
that.
the one you're talking about. I didn't own it. But
Yeah,
I think I've seen it before.
They were very popular in like the sort of 80s, and before computers became a thing. And I had a massive one of them on my wall, and it looked just like this place. So
Oh yeah.
In this town, don't we love it now?
Everybody's waiting
next
for the next
surprise.
surprise.
Smilex, just to address, I finished high school like in 2020, and man, my school was so small that their bullies were inexistent, detention, like nothing. I mean, my
His school was so
graduating-
small that the bully and the guy they picked on were actually the same guy. That's how small his school was.
exactly, man. Like, because my graduating class of 2020, so this is like high school graduation class. We were 9 in my class, so that's how small it was. But man,
Dude, my high school graduating class was like 500 people.
Jesus.
It was like 500-600 people.
Damn,
I don't
the
know the exact
speeches.
number.
Oh man. And,
Dark Hour, this
Pretty big like
dude,
that.
this mayor dude, Dark Hour, reminds me of you. This is like you on the stream. You're the mayor of the stream.
Wow.
This is you.
So the mayor, I've never understood this. The town, like Halloweentown, has a king. Why the
Right.
hell do they also have a mayor?
Well, just like how
I guess
England
it
has a
is, yeah.
queen and a prime minister,
I feel
He's
like
a
the
bit
mayor
like
has to
Minister.
do all the dirty
Yeah, but
work.
he's the king of Halloween, but he's
Right.
not
Yeah.
the king of the town. He's
Well,
the,
no,
he's
he's
the
the
king.
king of the
he's the-
town because he lives in a castle. So my
Yeah, but
opinion is the mayor does the dirty work and Jack gets to have all the fun, but still be in charge.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's
kind
kinda
of like
the mayor runs the town, but Jack is the Halloween
Because
guy. He's the
remember
king
when he
of Halloween.
knocks on the door and Jack doesn't answer, he's like, "I'm only an elected official."
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
My
well,
favorite thing about the mayor by far is that, and like I know people realize it, but sometimes they don't say it. It's the fact that he has two faces. He's
Two-faced
two-faced.
politician.
Yeah.
Yes.
Two-faced
Yeah.
politician.
He's
And
also
I-
voiced
that's
by
perfect.
Otho from Beetlejuice.
That's right.
Yes, yeah.
I like his anxiety. There's only 364 days to go until Halloween. We got to
Yeah.
start planning now.
Yeah, it's kind of like a metaphor for like the higher you get up in a job in the rankings, like kind of the less responsibilities, less dirty work you get to do, and you just kind of
Well, yeah, it's
delegate.
like what is the term? It's you can actually get to a level you would get to you can get up to 3 levels above your competency level before people realize that you've gone too far. But it's by then it's like you're too far and they can't take you out of it. That's basically where he's at.
Well, it's sort of like the queen and the king technically now, because that's Jack's job essentially. He's being the king while
He's a figurehead.
like
He's just a
the
figurehead.
equivalent of a prime minister. So, but he still has to run everything through Jack. I mean, they only do one thing, which is prepare Halloween. So that is
it's not many responsibilities.
Yeah.
It's his responsibilities extend to I have plans for how we're going to decorate the town.
Yeah, and I need to run it through Jack.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to unmute myself. It wasn't working. and yeah, so we finally get like a look at some character designs because at this point they're singing, this is Halloween, this is Halloween. And so yeah, I just took a couple of stills of the creatures that they have because man, the designs are really, really good and creepy, especially for if you're a kid.
Yeah, that one's based on me, the guy in the chair there. That's a pretty
I
good
can
one.
see it. I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see it.
I don't know if it's like if I'm just demented, but like these are not scary, too scary for kids, I thought, but I don't know. Maybe somebody might
Some
they're
of them are
creepy.
scarier than others, but yeah, for the most part, they're cartoony.
I think if
think
you
it
were a
depends.
really young kid, it would be kind of scary but exciting, like when you used to hide from the Daleks in Doctor Who.
I
Well,
think
but
that
it
I
also
think that
depends
Oogie is a
on-
bit on. I can see Oogie being a bit on the scary side because he's actually menacing, whereas the rest of them come off as just comedically goofy. So
Well, I think it depends on what you've been exposed to too. I mean, there are some really sheltered kids out there that, they get really freaked out by some things. I'm like, really, it's not even that bad. So
Are you saying this should have had a trigger warning, Rennie, at the beginning?
for today's parents, yes. If it was made in today's age, I would say absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, for me, the scariest characters that were in this growing up that I vividly remember actually scaring me were Lock, Shock, and Barrel. So, like
Really?
the rest
It
of
was
them were
pretty
pretty.
boogie
Yeah,
for me.
Lock, Shock, and Barrel were scary as fuck when I was growing up.
They're just children.
And,
Well,
yeah,
exactly. Children
can
are
see
scary, man.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
kinda
it's like
e-
that
pretty
movie.
evil
Go ahead,
looking.
Rennie.
Sorry.
What was that movie we watched? What was it? Evil loves
Oh,
children. Children love evil. Yeah, it's
Children
like
love evil. Yeah,
those
when
little
evil lurks.
kids. God.
Mhm. And
That's a
and-
pretty
and-
accurate depiction of Rennie's hair right there, by the way.
Actually, I did dress up as Sally a couple Halloweens. I still have my Sally dress, my Sally tights. I even used blue makeup. And I have like these scar stickers and stuff that I use to make myself look like that, or stitching
Nice.
stickers, I think. But
What does Mr. Rennie have to do in order to get the Sally costume to come out?
well,
special
he would
events?
have to dress like Jack Skellington.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, you better
Yeah.
borrow those pants from Dark Hour then. Get going.
I wish I
Joe
could fit in those
Rogan.
skinny pants anymore. I'm up too much weight to fit in the old skinny pants anymore.
But like
So
back to
it's-
like the animation, it's like her hair is done frame by frame, and her face is
Wavy,
like clipped
yep.
and removed in 2 pieces with the eyes and the mouth. It's like so painstaking, like animating her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually
Oogie
originally
Man is also a pain in the ass to animate too.
originally Sally was they wanted to have her walk weird because of the fact she doesn't really have bones. She's
okay.
She's
she's more
stuffed
she's a
with
set,
leaves.
yeah, she's stuffed with leaves. So originally they were gonna have her kind of stumble around, but they thought she looked too drunk. Like they basically it didn't come off as like it didn't look like she was in an incomplete creation. It just looked like she was drunk. So they were just like, yeah, just scrap that
But
idea.
she still is a little bit wobbly. They do convey some of that. It's just not that bad.
Well,
She's
I
drinking all
think
these
the way
random
that they
potions and shit.
Yeah, the way that they convey it in the final product is really like it complements her character the way that she's wobbly, you know? It's weird to explain, but I feel like it works a lot. And if they did add to that factor, I think they would have removed a bit of the charm that she has going for her right now. The Oogie Boogie, there he is.
Well, technically, so there's a lot of debate as to whether or not this is actually Oogie Boogie.
It's definitely Oogie Boogie. I don't
It's
understand how
Oogie
there could be a
Boogie.
It's
debate.
Oogie Boogie.
Well, the reason why there's a debate is because the only thing that's kind of an official sequel to this movie is a video game that came out years later called Oogie's Revenge. And when you fight the shadow, it's like kind of like video games from that era used to do this thing. Maybe Stupenza, you've played Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. You might recall that there's like the fake Ganondorf in that game. They used to like give you like a fake version of like the eventual end boss early on, and after you defeat the shadow, he like basically the real Oogie tells you that guy wasn't the real thing. So there's a bit of a debate as to how much he actually is really.
But I thought he actually sang during this scene.
Yeah, it's the same actor.
The sequence, so I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be Oogie Boogie in the movie.
Yeah, it's just a shadow because I think I have a clip later on where you see his it's a slide where you see his shadow and it's exactly the same one. So I do think it's Oogie Boogie. But if it's not, then he probably is using those jutsus from Naruto. That's just it,
Moon jutsu.
Well,
was it the lyric
Tender Lumpings?
Tender Lumpings. That's an Oingo Boingo song. It's not Oingo Boingo.
Danny Elfman was the lead singer of Oingo Boingo, and he scored.
Love it.
There you go.
What's your guys' favorite Oingo Boingo song?
Dead Man's
I don't have any.
Dead Man's Party is awesome.
I like Who Do You Want to Be from Teen Wolf 2, and what else? There's what was it? I Love Little Girls. That's the weirdest song he ever wrote. Jeez. Try to sing that one at karaoke and try not to get punched in the face.
So one thing that's really interesting is the original poem didn't have any of these characters in it. It just had Santa, Zero, and Jack were the only characters, and they're like obviously the kids that he's sort of terrorizing later on. But like all of these were essentially made up for the film. Did not have any kind of pre-writing for it. So the adaptation of the poem had to be really expanded. Obviously, it was only 3 pages. So they came up with a lot of that's how they came, and they kind of almost came up with a lot of these designs as they went along. Some of them are based off of real people. Other ones are based off of just conceptual things.
Oh, dude. Well, I can imagine because, you see stuff like this and the amount of effort that you would put, especially with different types of animation for the fire and stuff like that. The poem, you'd still need a lot of substance going on. Because, I mean, you do need to craft a type of 3-act structure story, which they sort of do with this. Yeah. But, man, it's good that they expanded it, but not expanded it too much to the point where the film would have been longer, because I do think it's the perfect length. Well, don't say that's what she said, please.
Look at that. I can't do Brownie's accent. I'm sorry.
Was it so the Pumpkin King? Like, I mean, he only wears the pumpkin thing like once on Halloween. Is that like the honorary?
Well, I'm
title?
guessing. Yeah.
I
know. I think he's always the Pumpkin King, but I think he only wears it as a crown when he's doing like official capacity stuff, like the parade.
Yeah, the parade. Yeah.
And he burns it away, so like it's like a new crown every time, basically.
Weird.
Yeah, he probably has a new costume every year. He probably gets upgraded, and that would actually be pretty cool. Because scarier.
Here's the thing: is what I would actually think is that the pumpkins would almost be like sentient in this world, and like it would be an honor to be part of this. Like because they can't really. That's what I would think.
We should check with Gord. He'll know whether that's true or not.
Yes, Gord King, if you're still in the chat, can you tell us? Can you tell us whether or not there's like some sort of like pumpkin Miss America pageant that they go through to become part of this?
Because this film's like his biopic, basically.
Yeah, it's sad that he couldn't be here, but Smileks was saying it's like I think it took like an average work day took about you made about 17 seconds worth of the movie every day or
Yeah.
every like shift.
Because it's like for every second is like 100 different poses or something like that. It's like insanity.
In addition to, you know, like crafting all of the different faces and all of that, like crafting it, actually making it by hand, which is incredible talent too.
Yeah.
Massive talent. And yeah, so we finally see Dr. Finkelstein. That's how you pronounce it. Finkelstein. And he goes to see Sally because she poisoned him with deadly nightshade.
Again.
All the time.
He was originally supposed to be the villain of the movie, and they like repurposed him.
It's kind of weird because it's like, is he her father? Is he her creator? Is he her like love interest? He's also got this jealous
love
I think he's her. Well, he is her creator, but I think he was hoping that she would wind up falling in love with him.
Yeah,
with
the
original ending, the Scooby-Doo ending, it definitely seems like more like a kind of forced kind of romance.
And he's in the wheelchair because she's poisoned him numerous times, so that's why he's now special needs. So she's actually the villain of the piece in my head, technically.
Oh, well, that is pretty interesting. But I mean, she does want to be free, and he doesn't want her to be free because well, you can say he did create a sentient being. Oh god.
Yes.
Gord King has gotten back to us. The things Lady Gords do for the sash would shock you. I really, and for everybody out there, I really wanted and I tried to make it possible for Gord King to be on this one. He just wasn't available. We will get him on a stream one day. I was trying my best, but the window was closing on us doing this movie. So
Nightmare, yeah.
I'm hoping Gord King can make his debut on my channel this upcoming Wednesday.
It's like too much work for him, man. He's lived this life, so let him be. Don't make him do pumpkin stuff. It's like his day off.
And yeah, so she wants to be free so badly that she just runs away and leaves her arm. Which
I love how the arm continues to fight too. Like the arm just starts punching him in the head.
See, now that's going to be offensive for people with disabilities. So that's going to have to be rewritten. And can't be having people in wheelchairs getting knocked over. So
I mean, last time we were on my channel
about the Doctor Who.
That's where that comment came.
It clicked. I got it.
Man, that's just so ridiculous. And seeing the guys say that stuff was just like, oh, come on, man.
I mean, last time we were on my channel, we covered Shaun of the Dead, and there was a zombie in a wheelchair there. So representation was back
I will
then.
say this: there is like a kind of like old school Davros thing going on with Dr. Finkelstein. Like he kind of has like a similar look to him. Like
yes, but
he looks really
Davros
weird.
Created the Daleks out of his own DNA, which Dr. Finkelstein did not.
Well, he does use half of his brain later on to create for the next one. Yeah.
The question is he evil because he's in the wheelchair? That's what. Obviously not, right? It's like no.
I would say not.
Yeah, nobody thinks that.
Oh man, and well, who would think that someone would just because of a physical attribute would be evil? Made by Disney. I don't know. Sounds pretty modern to me. But hey,
Zero.
And yeah, you got Zero. That's popping up, and I did miss something. I actually forgot to put it in the slide. However, there's a point where Jack Skellington just goes to a grave, and he says "scream." And if you look clearly at the grave. Keep in mind, this is 1993. It's Ghostface. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, it's that, and
looks like it.
It's also like the position is reminiscent of the famous painting of the Screamer, and all that. So there's a lot. There's actually a lot going on in that scene, and that specific frame.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so you got Jack that's basically fed up with Halloween, and this is what he's doing. He's just singing and enjoying life. Well, I don't really know what song. Yeah, he does want more out of life
than just Halloween for him. He thinks.
Well, especially considering that maybe he's immortal as well. So have that concept too.
It's proven later on that he's essentially, unless you were to destroy him on like a molecular level, he could just reform his body essentially.
Yeah. So man, it must be a shitty life. Jack, we understand you, man. So, but,
Jack's lament is that he's a big fish in a little pond. It's tough being the king,
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. So
he's got a bunch of yes men. he needs a challenge. He's not feeling like the challenge. He's getting like
Well,
bored.
right before this, he like, he does, and for the most part, it's like a pretty good performance. But I'm assuming it's like, the same one he does pretty much every year, and people are like fawning over him, especially the women of the town. But like everyone is just like, "Oh my God, you're so great! I love you!" And it's just like, okay, cool. And he's slowly backing away into his graveyard / pumpkin patch.
Well,
yeah, check out Gord, everyone. He
Yeah,
wasn't
Gord
able to make
King.
the stream, but do check out his channel. He's got a new video up of the Marvels, which is pretty good. So you guys,
Yes, I was watching that, but like right before I popped in, I didn't finish it yet. I will finish that later.
Yeah, the Megan Bambo, new face in the chat. My favorite is that he throws his own rib for his ghost dog to catch. Yep, he does. It's a pretty good, like, it's just little touches like that are peppered throughout the entire film, and it makes it so, how would I say this? It brings life to the entire movie, because even though it is stop motion, you can tell that this was a lot of effort put into it. Just little details like that would have probably taken months to do. Just
It's made
shows
by
you how much
hand,
love they had.
It's made by
exactly.
hand.
And
go ahead.
What?
Well, that stream killer.
That was an awkward silent pause if ever there was one.
Well, I gotta say, back to like Danny Elfman. He was very connected to this character because of his Oingo Boingo thing, being a lead singer of a rock band. It's like you said, it's like a rock star syndrome you get, and that's why he was decided to branch out into film composing. And so that's why he was like, they wrote all these songs first because the original screenwriter was super late on the script, but he was struggling with a serious cocaine addiction. He was the writer of Beetlejuice. So he never finished the script. He got fired. Then he got replaced by the Edward Scissorhands screenwriter. And by that time, Danny Elfman had already written, there's 10 songs in this movie. This is a full blown musical. Like, it's pretty insane. So the idea is like, he just kind of got the basic idea and they wrote the songs. And I think they, wrote this, what's this, and animated it first and kind of used that as like a baseline for where to go from there. And basically the script was just kind of like peppering in dialogue in between and connecting everything, and figuring out an ending.
Yeah, that does seem like it would actually make sense since they were reverse engineering from such a short poem. A short in the greater scheme of things. It's 3 pages for a poem is actually pretty long, but
it is.
I think it benefits from being, written songs first, like a good musical should.
Yeah, because it gives you a clear sense of direction where you want to go, especially considering all of the songs, they're not just random songs, like Jack's Lament. It talks about Jack and his life, and then everyone else, Sally's song afterwards. And it's a way to, it's an easy way to have your story shaped. Yeah, exactly. You already have the beats. All you have to do is, well, literally and figuratively, you already have the beats, and all you have to do is just complete them.
Yeah,
but yeah, so you've got Sally that's spying on Jack after running away from Dr. Finkelstein. I'll say it like that. There you go. And man, she's getting some deadly nightshade.
Yeah, this is where she comes for her like poisonous things.
I see a butt cheek.
Huh? A butt cheek? What? Where?
On Sally.
Oh, wait.
We've
got to zoom in, ladies and gentlemen.
She's got a skirt on.
She's got a skirt on, Rennie.
In the past clip, it looked like her butt cheek was shiny.
Oh, maybe. Oh.
No, that's her leg.
Yeah,
her leg.
Still.
Oh, well, I mean,
she shows a lot of leg.
Looks like a butt cheek on the right.
She literally does show all leg.
Shows.
I can't believe I never noticed that before. I'm sorry.
One thing I want to say, since we were mentioning Danny Elfman, and first of all, Catherine O'Hara does a great job. That makes it like, when I was a kid, I did not know, I did not realize that she was the same person who played Kevin's mom in Home Alone until later in life.
Really?
Well, when I was a kid, obviously.
No, I haven't. I'm realizing now.
Yeah, it's the same woman. Yeah,
Beetlejuice.
And then Beetlejuice. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is,
Best in show.
Christ, never seen.
Well, when you're in the Tim Burton kind of like sphere, it's kind of like a Christopher Nolan sphere. He uses a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
Also, when I was a kid, I mean, and to this day, I still have trouble even picking it up. The difference between the fact that Danny Elfman's singing and Chris Sarandon is speaking for Jack, they sound so similar.
Yeah,
that it doesn't really. It's very difficult to pick up, especially if you're not
It's why Chris Sarandon was hired, because he sounds like Danny Elfman, and unfortunately, Danny Elfman at the time, he had to kind of swallow his pride, and like they were telling him, like Henry Selick especially was like his speaking performance was a little too wooden, because in animation you have to be you have to exaggerate, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hard a lot.
Which I actually said this when I was watching the other day. I was thinking about this. I was like, this must have been one of the hardest things to do voiceover for, because we hadn't really seen anything like this. And usually to be effective as a voice actor, you kind of have to be able to visualize what you're supposed to be talking about, because and they were still making this as it was like, obviously it took them forever to make it, and to trying to explain these situations and character styles to a person for their motivation must have been so difficult. Like, yeah, you're like a woman made of leaves, and you really don't like your paraplegic father who made you with it. It's how do you like explain that kind of stuff?
I do think that's a big challenge for actors, because you do have to visualize, but I'm not sure if they made a lot of concept art for this film. Maybe that would have
they must have. That must have.
Tim Burton's drawings, the sculptor that they got from Disney, that they, they're all friends. It was like the sculptor, and then there's another guy, the animator, Henry Selick, the director. There you go. And
that guy that we said early on nobody should forget about
when they first met working at Disney, as animators, and they had a hard time drawing the big-eyed Disney style. They had Tim Burton had a very distinct style, and
what has become called the Cal Art style, basically.
Well, this sculptor was like, Tim Burton's drawings would translate really well in 3D as sculpts, and also like, being able to like take these weird shapes and turn them into like, 3D is pretty good. Translates well. I think those were all the sketches. Like all of Tim Burton's old sketches were like with all the inspiration to this.
That's why it's called Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, dude, he got all the credit of this. We barely even remember the director's name.
Another thing about Catherine O'Hara, props to her for not being, Danny Elfman needing someone. She does the speaking and the singing roles herself. She does it great.
She's a classically trained actress, so she's done a lot of musicals and stuff.
I love her in The Mighty Wind when she sings. She came out on. They do a live rendition of this show with Danny Elfman. It's more like a concert. And, they have had like Billie Eilish sing as Sally. But they have had a couple times Catherine O'Hara
must be the most boring sounding.
She sounded good. No, she sounded good, and she was all made up. But the point is, like, they got a lot of people. But like when Catherine O'Hara came back, and like she got like standing ovation, whatever, 2013, whenever that first happened, it's a big deal.
They did that. They did that concert over here, and it was sold out like days within a day of the tickets going on sale.
They should have cast her in like Les Miserables, because that movie had some abysmal singing for a musical. I will have to say, I'm French, but I hate the adaptation with
I'm French, but I hate French people. That's what I wanted him to say right there.
I'm not French. I don't want to see that.
and so we've got Sally going back to the doctor, and man, she got her deadly nightshade. That's what it's called. Yeah, deadly nightshade that she's ready to, poison him with again. But
in all fairness, he's like basically treating her like a prisoner. She can't do anything. She can't go anywhere, and she's got
also
this,
for. Sorry.
She's got this constant like want and need for more knowledge, and she wants to explore. It's.
It's his fault for instead of designing, like, he literally made a rebellious teenager. Like, what did he expect?
Yeah,
and
maybe that's what he. But maybe that's
also he's too dumb. He's also too dumb to do his own grocery shopping. Apparently, with somebody like he's still letting her make his food.
Yeah, exactly.
He deserves everything that happens to him. He deserves.
It's like that movie Phantom Thread. Like she kind of secretly likes getting poisoned by her. It's like she nudges him back to health and stuff. It's like a little game they play.
and I mean, like, I do like the insight. However, as you guys said, I do think that it's completely his own fault. Why even create a being like this if you know what the being's purpose is gonna be? Why not try, kind of like the model that he creates later on? That's a lover.
If you want someone like you, then just make another you or a copy of you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you guys want to know how much of a movie nerd I am? When I was a kid, when I watched this movie, I saw that movie as I must have been 8 years old, and I was like, "That's William Hickey." as the voice of the old doctor. Like I knew who William Hickey was, and his
I
name.
still don't know who that is.
I still,
so.
yeah, me,
He's the-
me.
He's the
He has a
old
very
man who
distinctive
was
voice.
in, he's in Tales from the Dark Side movie, the old guy that gets killed by a cat. He's in.
Oh yes, yeah. I
Turkey
do know that
Boys,
one,
the
yeah.
old. He's a very old man. He's extremely old.
He's one of those guys who's perpetually an old man. Basically,
He was in Mouse Hunt. He's like their father on the deathbed. That was his last role. He's like 100 years old in that movie.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean he's very old now.
He was great. He's done
around.
some great movies. William Hickey, check him out.
I will. And but we've got the mayor right now, and the mayor you can see is Two Faces, and he's coming out to see Jack because they already need to make the preparations for Halloween, even though. Well, Halloween just ended. The celebration was last night. This is like a full-blown thing. Crazy.
Yeah, look, I just want to say, who the hell would ever prepare something and plan something out a year in advance?
Well, the day after it's finished as well. I like his spider bow tie.
Who would ever have a list of things that they want to do a year from now?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Maybe
But that's
like
why
a wedding.
I said you're the mayor, man. That's you. I said that.
I can see that now.
Yeah, it's
all
the
making
personality.
Overly prepared, you know?
Yeah.
That's
Nothing
right.
wrong with that.
We
to
check
my detriment.
Can we check the back of your head to see if there's another you there with Oh, it's uninspired's face is on the back. Okay.
You can't see me because of all the hair. That's why. But
Yeah.
I'm in there. It's fur. It's fur.
It's just like a nostril sticking through. Anyway, we're getting into surreal Tim Burton territory now. Let's move on.
Oh yeah. And well, bad. I forgot what I was gonna say. But oh yeah, I was thinking. In terms of the full year of preparation, do we get any insight as if there's more people than Jack that go out and scare people? Because my understanding was it's only Jack that goes out. So why does he need so much time to prepare?
I think it's more than that because the witches do their thing, and then you've got the vampires that go and do their thing. So he's not the only one scaring people.
Yeah,
in
who
my
drank the
opinion.
most
Yeah,
blood
it's
this
true.
year, you know?
You do.
He's just the most famous one, which we've missed because we couldn't do the song. I forgot to mention this. Possibly my favorite line in the entire movie is when he's talking about how famous he is in the song, and he says to a guy in Kentucky, "I'm Mr. Unlucky." Is probably my favorite line. One single guy in Kentucky knows who he is. That's
he knows he knows what Kentucky is, but later he doesn't know what snow is.
Yeah.
It's like
we'll get into that.
Yeah, but he goes out during the wrong time of year to know.
Yeah, he goes out during Halloween.
We'll get into that later because there's actually some things that don't make sense in that song.
It's okay. This is the hardest shot in the whole movie they had to do.
Because they had to account for everything as it spun. Yeah.
It's
Jesus.
2 seconds long.
That's a cool shot, though.
This was the hardest shot.
Yes. Yeah. They said this was the hardest one.
Right?
No, it's not. It's actually
not?
practical, but they had to make sure that they essentially had to turn the whole thing, the entire diorama, to make sure that the reflection matched up.
I'm sure it was a lot of trial and error to get it, just right.
It's actually true. Yeah,
the guy.
That's why he's the Gourd King now.
Oh
He was
man,
cursed
Gord,
by
you
the king
stole
himself.
the identity of Jack, man.
No, actually, no. They're just friends. They're friends. He's like, to a guy in Kentucky, I'm Mr. Unlucky. So he's not saying that he's scary. He's just saying it's actually Gourd King telling him, man, you're so unlucky. You have to live in there. I'm over here in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And yes, so you've got Jack already one of the first things I wrote down in my notes is the fact that he basically goes on a walk and ends up in this place with all the different dimensions, and he does mention that he's never been here before, which is kind of weird because I mean he went for a pretty long ass walk if you think about it.
He basically fell asleep and sleptwalked the whole way, so and it was all night, so he could, who knows how many miles he walked. There would be no reason for him to walk here ever. This is in the middle of nowhere. So
that's true.
The thing that makes is a little confusing to me. So they show this in the beginning, and there is the Halloween door. Why would there be a Halloween door? Unless he maybe if he was already in Halloweentown. It is a little
that's
weird.
What I'm saying. It feels like a different place completely that he walked to, like in another dimension. That's where he went.
See, that's what I kind of took it as, is he went on such a crazy walk. Maybe it was just the right time of night or whatever. He wound up in this portal or dimension or whatnot to go to other dimensions or other
So
worlds.
I'm going to offer a different theory, if I may. The Halloween door takes you to what we'll call the human world at the time of Halloween. That's where it goes to. The Christmas one takes you to the human world at the time of Christmas. The Easter bunny one takes you, the egg takes you to the human world at the time of Easter. So those are like the time slot doors, and that's how I always.
I can accept
Well,
that one
but then why
Yeah.
the lock, stock, and barrel? Why are they able to go in as well?
because it wasn't the time of Easter yet, so they were able to go to the Easter world. He's saying that these doors would take you to the human world if it was
Yeah, I mean,
But if it's the right time of
if you
year
take
in
them
your
if you take
area.
them at the wrong time, you're not going to the right place, basically.
Yeah, well,
Also,
you see,
the
Abomination,
celebration.
AJ, like he makes a point because the walk seems short and anyone could go to and from, which is confirmed by lock, shock, and barrel, essentially just going and coming back in the span of what seems like a day.
Yeah, less than.
Yeah, true. So
But
yeah.
the
The
celebration,
rule of cool.
the montage sequence at the beginning with all the monsters and the different people, that's basically them all celebrating and showing their Halloween props, if you like. And Jack's just the star of the show.
Yeah.
So everybody gets to scare someone from Halloween, and Halloweentown is where they live.
Yeah, because you've got the vampires that get the award for most blood sucked in a single night. I think that was it. That's what they
Of course,
got.
they would win that though. They're the only ones
Well,
doing
yeah.
it.
get that award every year, right?
That's one of those. That's one of those like when they're just making awards that only one person can possibly win.
So you're saying it's like
So it's like the Oscars.
participation trophies.
Yeah, basically.
It's a sham. That's basically it. That's why they give Jack the big bucks to live in the mansion. He's the only dude living in the mansion. The rest of them are just living.
You live in a
castle.
mansion, right? With your $13,000 electricity bills, 15-room house with 8 German shepherds, right?
Dude, it took like 5 years to pay that off, man. And so yeah, so you've got Jack that gets accidentally sucked into, because like literally sucked into the Christmas world.
Yeah, because the door blows open and it sucks him in.
Yeah, but he leaves what's the dog's name again? Zero. Yeah, he leaves Zero in the weird, let's say, dimension.
It is weird too, because like Zero is incorporeal, so he could have just followed him through the door. Like he didn't have to. The door doesn't need to be open for Zero to go through it. It's.
I mean,
maybe
yeah,
because
that's
it's
true.
taking you to another dimension or another area, you can't.
Yeah, I guess because he does open it and look in, and it's just an empty tree, and then he closes it and it reopens. So it's.
Then it just sucks him in, and he gets to Christmastown, which, man, Christmastown looks fucking fantastic in this movie.
Oh yeah.
It's like when
probably my favorite
Californians visit
location.
Texas or Florida, and they're like, "This place is amazing."
It's based on, from what I heard, what I read, it's based on the original like picture of Whoville, was like what they use as a basis.
Whoville.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I will clap back at that California thing. I'm from California,
New
and
Yorkers.
I honestly think it's more beautiful than Texas. I will be honest. But
this is very Dr. Seuss inspired, this town, and this is my favorite song in the movie, by the way.
I think this might be
What's
everybody's
this?
favorite song in the movie.
What's this?
Actually,
What's
See,
this?
mine is Jack's Lament at the beginning. I love that song.
So here's my
pretty
problem
good.
though with this. So in the song, like he doesn't know what snow is, which is something that he may encounter. It like because it can snow in October. It can snow around Halloween. It is possible, especially depending on the part of the world you're in. But he knows exactly what mistletoe is. He knows exactly what cakes and pies are. So it's like it's really weird like what he knows and what he doesn't know. It's very like it's almost like as they were writing the song, they were just like, okay, well, we'll just he doesn't know what snow is, but that's okay. But he does know what pies are because it rhymes well. Like, you know, it's one of those, you know.
It's a nice convenience. But yeah, I mean,
also nobody notices the 9-foot tall skeleton walking around your.
Well, that's his job, you know. His job is to scare people, so he must.
But he's literally screaming. He's literally like yelling and screaming outside their windows by their pies.
I think the Christmas people are so like it's kind of like how like when animals don't have any natural predators, they're not like afraid of humans. Like I think they would wake up and see him and be like, "Hello, are you lost?" But it's only until they get like severed heads in their boxes that they start getting like freaked out, you know. I like to think that they're a nice, inviting people, the Christmastown people, you know?
I'll tell you one thing, those pies look pretty good though.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do. That's
for
why I
all.
took a screenshot of them because they look really, really good.
I
To
love
eat,
when
man.
fake food looks delicious, like animated food. It's so funny.
Oh yeah, animated
Makes-
food is annoying
makes me
because
hungry.
you can't even just.
I blame the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for my love of pizza because of that
Oh,
cartoon having the best animated looking pizza of all time.
And yeah, you
Miyazaki.
get Christmastown. There it is, and we see a shadow of basically the Fat Man. That's what we call him, the Fat Man. What they call him, Sandy Claus?
Santa Claus.
Santy Claus. They think that
Sandy.
it's
Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy, right?
Like
Yeah.
Sand
Mhm.
Claus.
Yes.
Yeah, Sandy Claus.
originally, I don't know. Stupenzo probably knows this because me and him tend to have a lot of the same info on things. The original voice actor was supposed to be Vincent Price for Santa
Oh.
Claus,
He was
but his
too old.
Yeah.
his wife had just passed
Oh.
away, so he turned down the role. And he would have actually he died like 3 or 4 days before the movie came out, so it would have been a really weird timing as well. But he was the original choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Man.
Who played Ed Ivory played Santa Claus? I
He's the
don't
same
think
guy who
I've
does the
heard.
narration at the beginning. Well, it's time you begun.
Which was originally funny you say that. Originally, that was supposed to be Patrick Stewart.
Oh, in the,
on
in
the-
the soundtrack,
on the
it is Patrick
soundtrack,
Stewart,
it
yeah.
is him. Yeah, it was really supposed to be Patrick Stewart.
Like the
Yes.
X-Men Patrick Stewart.
Yes,
Star Trek?
like
Yeah.
Jean-Luc
Oh.
Picard, Patrick Stewart.
Captain
was the one.
Picard,
Picard.
Patrick Stewart.
God, I don't know
Like
if that
the
would've
guy who's
worked.
looked exactly the same since like 1984, Patrick
Yeah.
Stewart.
Well, lately, not so much.
Yeah. Well, he's what, like 90 now? Like seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's getting on a bit now. He's too old for Rennie's hit list now.
and so yeah, we go back to Halloweentown, and Halloweentown, everyone is panicking because they can't find Jack, and they sound the alarm, which is a cat screaming, I guess.
Pretty sure it's the same
Yeah.
guy doing the mayor voice. Just
I love the way he's cranking the tail there. That's
Yeah.
that's
This
great.
is
amazing, yeah.
actually uninspired making a cameo in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Ah,
mean
yeah.
Tim Burton,
Rebirth.
like he tried to get me, but I wasn't available because I probably
I
just
wasn't
wasn't
born
involved.
yet. You weren't
Yeah.
born
You're
yet.
just
So.
a zygote, huh?
So that's you as the mummy, not the cat, right? Just to be
I
correct.
guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
I also like how the
One eye.
mummy is also a cyclops. It's a
Yes,
mummy and a
yeah.
cyclops.
Yeah.
Well, they do mention a Cyclops earlier because that's one of the places they check. The vampire goes, "I peeked behind the Cyclops eye," and no one believes him. He's like, "No, I did. He wasn't there." Like it's like,
Mhm.
like 'cause I'm
Yeah.
assuming that the Cyclops is extremely dangerous, and that's why you would like going there would have been, especially
kinda
if
like
his
the
eye is
Oogie
big
Boogie,
enough
you
for
know?
someone to hang out behind it.
Oh yeah, and well, I just wanted to see, like, look at the detail on the car. It looks so real, and
Mhm.
the fact
Yeah.
that when they add the movement as well, it just amplifies all of that. Man, the amount of effort that they put is it's phenomenal. Because I know that if they remade this today, they'd probably go all CG for sure. They would even try stop motion, I bet.
Okay, I got 2 comments here that I missed during when we were talking about the
Go ahead.
what's this? Is mistletoe like camel toe but on a guy?
Oh my god.
Maybe.
I thought that was Frog Eye.
It's actually moose knuckle, but close enough. So,
yeah.
Moose knuckle.
Camel toe
Moose
that's so
knuckles, yeah.
bad that you
Yeah.
swear the blood is getting cut off or blood circulation.
and then I'm pie curious.
Mm.
Is moose knuckle some sort of American euphemism that I'm not
Yeah.
familiar
Yeah,
with?
it's when a guy wears pants that are way too tight.
No, it's for a
No,
woman.
seriously,
Oh.
dude. Moose knuckle is
Oh.
camel toe that's so bad that the woman's going to cut off her circulation.
Oh,
Frog
okay.
Eye is the
Yeah.
guy version.
Right.
Well,
Oh,
welcome
okay.
to the Uninspired Reviewers channel. We're on 2 hosts. We're talking about
Yeah.
moose knuckles.
Talking about moose
and
knuckles
camel toes.
and camel toes.
I just-
Well,
I
think
feel
there's
that
somewhere
should be
in-
a stream on its own. Moose knuckle appearances in films. I think that's
I would hate for
that sounds like a
you guys
Stupenzo channel
to,
thing, though. That sounds like something
yeah.
he would do.
I hate
depends.
for
So
one
I'm
of you-
game for that one, man. Count me in.
Top 10 camel toe shots or something.
I would hate for one of you guys to say that your moose knuckle is showing and embarrass yourselves, because that is definitely never used for men. Just let you know.
Yeah, you've always just got to wear, like, one of those the cups that
I'm
they
gonna
wear
take
for
the fifth.
sports. That's pretty much it. And yeah, so we've got Deadly Nightshade. How do we know that the Nightshade is deadly? Well,
Yeah.
look at it, man.
No, it says right here on Urban Dictionary.
'Cause it
Moose knuckle.
says.
It says right here on
Oh
Urban
my
Dictionary.
God.
A man's version of camel toe. The result
That's
of
so weird
spandex or
because-
pants that creates a bulge.
I'm telling you, that's not what it used to mean. It used to mean like a camel toe to the
Well,
extreme.
we took that shit back.
I mean,
How
shit,
much?
you can have
How much damage have you been doing to your body? I mean, to have that. Anyway, let's move on.
Thank you.
That looks like a moose knuckle escaping that jar right now.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
She clearly doesn't like it.
Frog's breath.
I do love
Uh,
the ingredients. It's like
oh,
'cause
yeah.
they're legitimate, like they're very literal ingredients. Like
Yeah.
worm's wort, frog's breath, like they're very
That's how it
literally
always is
what-
in the movies. You know, we need Eye of Newt.
Yeah.
Yeah, go get
Never-
Newt. Boom.
It's never like a powder. It's literally an eyeball they put in there.
Yeah, and we finally see his brain, which, man, it looks really, really. I don't know. I want to touch it for some
Gross.
reason.
Ray Liotta.
I wouldn't, man. It's overrated.
And so you've got Sally that's trying to serve up, the meal, of course, to the doctor, Dr. Finkelstein. I'll say
Asparagus
it.
soup.
Yep, with the frog's breath, and he doesn't want to eat it because frog's breath. He says that it's telling.
suspicious.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
suspicious.
Also, he keeps getting poisoned all the time.
Yeah, and he doesn't.
Worm's
he's
wart.
Like, fuck it.
And
Yeah.
frog's breath. There's
And,
nothing more suspicious than frog's breath.
Dude, Dark Hour, we should try and like create a comic series or an animated show just with like voice actors. Dark Hour will voice every single character. And then
I mean,
just
as
be
long
there
as you
saying,
don't need
"Hi."
me to do like a higher pitched voice. If it's a deeper voice, I can usually get it.
I can do
pretty
them
close.
falsettos.
Well,
My
add a cat that
falsetto's long
meows.
gone.
That's it. I'll just be like, "Meow." That's probably it. Done. And yeah, so the reason he tells her to eat it first because he doesn't want to try it, and she uses a spoon with holes in it, which pretty ingenious and nasty.
But if you look
because she keeps
closely,
it out
that
of her
spoon doesn't have
ankle.
holes in it right there.
Also, the spoon with hole shot is one of the second out of 4 shots that's like filmed in 24 frames per second.
Yeah, there's only a couple of them. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll
exactly
point all
which
4 of them out. They're good.
Well, I do like it's very when she actually does use the spoon, you could see the difference. It's much
Yeah.
first of all, it's much larger. So clearly they used like actual like full size props for that scene, and it just I think it had to be filmed at faster rate because for the liquid
Yeah,
to
it's
look like
liquid.
it's actually
Yeah, for liquid.
Easier.
Mhm. Unless like they sort of like added something else to the liquid, which could have been you could have, but it just would have taken more effort because you'd have to create your own concoction at that point. And yeah, so oh wait, well you know what? You've got the coolest entrance in cinema history. It's just Jack popping up like a badass.
I love how he stole someone's ride. Like he just like jacked someone's snowmobile and
They don't call him Jack for nothing.
Oh yes, Jack. And man, he comes through, and what he wants to do is explain Christmas to everyone because he's basically found a new outlook on life. He loves Christmas.
when does he want to explain it to everyone uninspired?
During-
Immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
He was
Oh,
like-
I was about to say during Halloween, like a dumbass.
And like they're like, oh, he says call a meeting, and it's like he doesn't even like give the mayor time. He's just like, no, everybody now, let's go.
And well, I mean, they're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they're all just.
Well, they were looking
available.
for him, so yeah. Some of them are
Yeah,
probably
true.
still out in the like the pumpkin patch looking.
But
and
look, man,
stuff.
you've got the mayor mobile right here. With
Yeah.
he's just saying, oh yeah, everyone.
It's supposed to be
come
like
through."
it's supposed to be like a hearse, but like one that has like curtains to like pop your head out of. It's like an interesting design for like a town of dead people.
Yeah.
That is true, yeah. But I think the mayor's design is probably like one of my favorites, just because of the
His is
two-face.
definitely up there.
Yeah,
His is definitely one of the most original of them. Like a lot of them are like takes on more generic monsters, like a wolfman or like the thing hiding under the stairs was like the snakes and all
There's
that stuff.
little Pugsley Adams down there by him. by his
Yeah.
wheel.
He
Yeah.
literally is based on Pugsley, but he's probably the most unique one of all of them.
That
True.
that
Can we
reverse
get-
face of the mayor, Docker, that's definitely your sad face. It looks
Yeah.
good-
Other
good-
things about Jack
good likeness.
Skellington's design. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No,
No,
that's
I
it.
think it was it.
Well,
Jack
other things
Skellington's
about Jack Skellington's design is like like he was supposed to wear all black. but they put him in the pinstripes because it's like easier to look at against the black stuff. But what's crazy is like he's the only Disney-esque character that's in black and white that doesn't come from a black and white movie. He's the only one they've ever made that doesn't wear any colors, and also he's the only one that doesn't have eyes. And what's crazy is they really told Tim Burton, we want him to have eyes that he can emote with. And the fact that he doesn't have eyes and he still emotes very well with his the fact that his eyes blink, that only works with like animation because
everybody fought hard against it too. Selick and Burton and even the animators, they fought very hard against it because they were like, it's gonna look terrible.
Yeah, no eyes is it'll look creepy for sure, but no eyes is just I don't know, it's so fresh and still like you don't ever see it.
But he was still able to emote with the sockets because they move and whatnot.
It's something if you tried it in live action, God forbid they ever I mean, if you ever tried to have like an animated skeleton head person, if you tried to make their eye sockets actually blink and his eyebrows shift, it would look silly. But in the claymation world, it looks awesome.
I agree with this from Smilex, by the way. The sun umbrellas is a nice touch for the vampires.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
When I first watched this, I'm like, are they using parasols? Really? Yeah. But it's a cute idea because they can't be in the sun. So.
Yep. Well, I mean, there's not really any sun, like that much sun in Halloweentown, but I do think UV rays can pass through. Yeah. Halloween, man, it must be a bitch for vampires to live in Halloweentown if that's the case, because it's sort of like the only place where you're supposed to be you, and you have to walk around with a sun umbrella anyways. But yeah, so you've got Jack Skellington that's trying to explain Christmas to everyone else, so he shows them stockings, and man, their reaction is priceless. Look at this. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So, you might not have the clip, but there's actually, this is one of the fun things that I noticed. They have a model of the evil queen from Snow White in this town meeting. Yes, it's in like the very back. You might not have a screenshot from it, but
no, probably not.
Yeah, you would have had to be looking for it because I noticed it the other day and I was like, and I looked it up and it's true. It actually is. It's one of those like Disney, like we try to throw random things in there.
Yeah. The reason why he calls Santa Claus Sandy Claus is because he compares him to a huge red lobster. That's what he says when he's trying to explain what Christmas is. And Stupenzo, this is the emoting part that you were talking about. It works fine. It works perfectly.
It's because they use the brows. What would be the eyebrow section right here? They use that up and down, which gives it that look.
And
but also, like the eye sockets aren't completely round right now, like they typically
the shape of the eyes.
It's just everything about his face that it's so
such
cool.
It's such a great design. It's why it's so timeless and still to this day is so iconic. Is that everything about it? It's both scary, like kind of has like a scary factor and a funness factor to it at the same time, which is really hard to pull off.
Yeah.
Also, probably proto Slenderman build he has.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he inspired Slenderman. This is 1993. Slenderman was probably created in early 2000s, mid 2000s.
But isn't Slenderman supposed to be like hugely tall?
Well, Slenderman, is supposed to be like
10 to 12 feet.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Skellington is that tall. I mean,
well, let's look it up. Maybe they have.
He's like about as tall. He's a little taller than.
He's very tall. He's like 9 feet tall. Like he's ridiculous. Like, because think about it. Like he's taller than everybody in that town. He has to duck under a lot of doorways. So
but is he that much taller than Sally?
So he's between 6 and 11 feet. That's
between 6 and 11 feet. And what's between 6 and 11 feet? 9 feet. Let's go with that.
Okay.
So for my friends in the chat who are like me, who are on the other system, it's 183 centimeters and 335 centimeters. So 1.83 or 3 meters 35.
It's
conversions.
Yeah, I don't understand feet or whatever that stuff is.
Come on. 12 inches equals a foot. 3 feet equals a yard.
I don't know what
5,280 of those bastards equals 1 mile. I mean, come on.
Dude, America's the only country that still uses that metric. Why don't you just change and adapt?
Because fuck you. That's why.
Wow.
Because we're not going to let anybody tell us what to do.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
honestly, if you wanted America to switch to the metric system, you'd have to tell us not to do it. If you you guys are not allowed to, it'd be like hell we aren't. We're gonna do it now. That's exactly.
if you go onto Google uninspired and type in number of French military victories in history, that's why.
I knew you
that
were
is
gonna bring it up.
super unfair coming from an Englishman.
True.
We've got more. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes,
A
but
bit
there
more,
was
a bit more.
several wars where you guys lost to France. Just saying.
Listen, we had Napoleon. Okay, that's it. He's getting a movie. I don't hear Guy
Look,
Fawkes getting a
I'm
movie
just gonna
anytime
point out.
soon.
I'm just gonna point out the last time France and America teamed up against England, it didn't work out so well for you guys. Just saying.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes,
but that
sir.
was in a Mel Gibson movie, man. Doesn't count.
And he's Australian. It's all sorts of messed up.
Oh yeah.
He was born in America. That's the weird thing. He was born in
Yeah.
America, raised, I think, in New York or LA for a little bit, then moved to Australia.
So he's got the what's it called? I don't know what the American laws, the birth on soil.
Yeah, Well,
thingy?
you're a natural born citizen. That's what it's called.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. And,
There's natural born citizens, and then there's like people who gain citizenship. So he's a natural born.
mhm. Yeah, thank you, Waylon. Vive la France. There you go, everyone. Napoleon in cinemas
I'm
next
o-
week.
I'm
Go and
only
explore French
teasing.
history.
It's funny because like Napoleon comes out like next week, and
Oh,
I haven't
French.
seen anything for it. Like not a single thing for that movie, except for like a
Dude.
couple of still frames.
So
Well, I
what
see
did they do
Napoleon
to
all the
make
time.
Joaquin Phoenix? Is he really going to play Napoleon as what? Wasn't he supposed to be like 4'9" or something like that? He was
No,
like-
Napoleon.
No, he
that's
wasn't that
historically-
short.
Normal height.
No, Napoleon was like 5'7". He's actually not. Yeah, he's not actually like as
So
short.
I
As
thought he was
Napoleon
a
was
little tiny
average size.
dude.
No, he's not as short as you, Rennie.
I
Oh,
thought he was
stop.
short too.
No, so I was actually checking this out. The reason why Napoleon is actually like portrayed as short today is because of I think it's an English cartoonist, and he portrayed Napoleon as short, and since then that's stuck. But Napoleon was actually average height for back then, because back then I think people were about 5'6" or 5'7" on average, and
Yeah.
Napoleon was 5'7". So,
He'd be short
yeah.
by like modern day American standards, but by like
Yes.
1800s French standards, he was exactly where he should have been.
Yeah,
So-
that's why everyone had top hats, because to seem taller. That was pretty much it.
But Napoleon has nothing to do with this movie that we're talking about right now.
Yeah, you've got Jack there again. Another like
Aw.
screenshot just portraying his designs with his eye sockets, man. You can really see through them.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it would have worked with eyes. I guess someone maybe might Photoshop them, but man, it probably would.
It would look creepy. It would look
it would look
very.
like-
I
creepy.
think it works a lot better without them, and they get so much expressions from his face, and they had all these little different heads for his emotional
Yeah.
moods.
I think
Well, I
if
mean,
you
just-
add, I think if you
Sorry.
added eyes, you'd have to reshape his entire face to
Yes.
match.
And it just
I mean,
wouldn't
think-
look right. A skeleton with eyes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I
if
don't
you think
know.
about Batman, or most of these superheroes with solid white eyes, like how easily you could emote with those, it's the same principle, except black eyes.
Yeah. So he's obsessing over Christmas, obsessing so much that the people don't really understand Christmas, which is more insight that you get on Halloweentown, because everyone thinks that something bad is good because that's it. That's Halloween. And
I always wondered what that bottom book is, because that's ridiculously long. It's like that's got to be like War and Peace, and he just slipped it in there as like a later read because it's the
Well,
only
it
thing.
could be a
That,
Christmas book though, because look, they're all Christmas books.
but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, maybe that's his like. After I'm done with this Christmas stuff, I'm gonna read War and Peace.
I like his hat.
I think it's the Sears catalog from the 80s or 90s, like the
Oh,
wish
that's-
list one.
That's the one. That's the one with the naughty lingerie section. I don't know about that.
That and toys and all that stuff.
I do, yeah, I agree with you though, Lance. His hat pulls the whole thing together.
Yeah,
he
his
doesn't have
hat's great.
hair, so it's like
It's like this is like his sleeping costume, but he's not sleeping. He's staying up.
yeah, it's for being comfy. But what is so you've got R, a book with R on it.
I'm not
that's
sure
pretty
what
much
that
it.
is supposed to be.
You've got
That's
Santa, Noel, which is Christmas in French, Xmas. I don't know what's on the yellow book. Is there something?
it doesn't have
No,
a
it's
name.
just like-
It's just
that's right.
and then Yuletide, which is just a general. I don't know what language.
I have no
language
idea
it
what
is,
Yuletide is.
but it's a term
Yuletide.
for like happiness and let me
During
see
the holiday season.
during the holidays.
Oh,
Let me see.
okay.
Yuletide
yeah,
cheer, y'all.
It means it's Christmas cheer. That's what it means.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yuletide greeting.
Yeah, I'm not
And-
sure where.
It
so
literally
the-
means the Christmas season, Yuletide.
Yeah.
Yuletide.
I'm trying to.
Yule
I'm trying to
is the
figure.
winter festival.
See ya, Jamalamba.
Yeah.
And yeah,
All
so he's
this
reading.
weird-
No,
Christmas
it's from
Carol.
old. It's from Old Norse, so
Oh,
it's from
okay.
like it's like pre-English basically.
Okay. And And so yeah, so moving on, Jack is trying to figure all of that stuff out while Doctor, who has been poisoned once again, decides to
Icing his
completely
head.
lock up Sally and the poor woman. But yeah, that was
I mean, can
that
you
that
blame him at this point? Like, you
well,
know,
Yeah, but
No,
you
yeah.
blame her. She's curious. She wants to explore new things. She's like still kind of new to the world, and he won't let her get out and do what she wants to do and have fun. You know.
Sorry, are you still talking to us, Rennie, or are you on the in conversation with your other half?
No, my husband is actually at work right now, so
Just
Aw.
kidding.
it's
she is
just me
married,
at
by
home.
the way, everybody. She is
Yeah,
married.
she is married.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
case
I
you didn't
haven't said it too many times in this stream.
No,
And
yeah, you should say at least 3 more times.
We'll
and
try to
so,
slip it in there.
as you've got the doc that's closing Sally up, well,
Oh,
locking
fuck.
Sally up, you've got Jack that goes to visit the doc to get some material to cook up some stuff because hey, they
Because
need
he
to
needs a
cook.
meth lab for some reason.
Well, I think
Basically,
he's
yeah.
trying to figure out like the molecular composition of everything and why it does what it does. I think it's really cool that he does
Yeah.
this.
There's
He's trying to
actually
figure out the
there was an
secret of
extended
Christmas.
version. There was an extended version of this that I think there's some of the deleted ones are on like one of the original DVDs of there's other experiments that he did that just didn't make the cut for the timing. Like one where he like draws like Santa Claus, but he looks like a huge monster. And
Teddy dissection, brilliant.
and if you look closely in one of them, the obligatory Mickey Mouse cameo is in this scene.
Mhm.
Really?
It's on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the
There's a
table.
Is that the
shows up
silhouette
outside.
silhouette of
It's
the
the-
ears in the background
Yes,
somewhere?
yeah. It's
Yeah.
like somewhere in the table. I don't remember off the top of my head, but the every Disney movie has to have some sort of Mickey Mouse cameo in it.
Oh,
Whether
wow.
it be like items that are arranged in a certain way to look like the ears and head, and
There's another Mickey Mouse cameo later. It's funny.
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm. And yeah, so you've got him that's trying to cook like Walter White, but failing at everything, trying to understand Christmas. Which,
Walter White skeleton.
yeah,
just like
Walter
over
White.
his-
Dr. Finkelstein is Jesse just over there. It's like, yeah, we need to cook. And Sally preps a bottle for Jack while she's in prison, and she decides to go visit Jack. And what she does is incredible because I mean, Sally, she goes through the window. First, the bucket goes down, and then Sally goes down because hey,
She just
she
jumps.
can survive. I guess.
So
Yeah.
it's funny because the arm that survives is the one that was reattached.
Yeah.
So I guess it's
sturdiest.
more it's most recently attached, so it's more secure than the rest of them.
Yeah.
Here's a
Man,
question
that's
though.
a great detail.
When you
Go
say
ahead, go ahead.
Sally was prepping this bottle, she's gonna give it to Jack, but she takes like some liquid and pours some herb with a funnel. What is she giving him? What is?
I think it's love potion. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Viagra.
Yeah. Liquid Viagra.
That would sell
Is that a
actually.
thing? I don't know.
Some
Because
kind of
yeah, this
aphrodisiac.
is it. This is what happens when he opens the bottle. We've got a butterfly that pops out, which you know, I guess
It doesn't
it's a
really
sign
fit
of
any
love.
of the theme. It's just very random that they chose a butterfly. Like it would have been a heart or something. It's just butterfly just seems really out there to me. It's
Yeah, it's
fine.
just random.
It's a cool visual. It's just random.
Maybe it's because Sally can't fully love, or maybe it's because it's Halloweentown and love isn't like in their blood. Maybe it's like companionship or something like that.
Sally,
the
just like
butterfly
Jack,
represents it.
Yeah, they both long for something else. Sally's like in love with Jack, though. She makes that
Yes.
pretty clear when she sings her song later. But like,
I also read for Sally that one of the inspirations for her look was based on Catwoman's costume for Batman Returns with all the different stitchings.
yeah,
And that was part of the inspiration for it, which
But
makes
also-
sense. It was,
metaphorically though, it's like, yeah, you're holding yourself together with just like a couple strings, you know, trying to put yourself together constantly. You know, it's like, you know, it's
Yeah,
deeper.
and you keep your emotions bottled up. There you go.
There you
And
go.
she's got to let them go out, and she's got to
We're-
let them fly because she has to fly and escape. You know, Dr. Finkelstein.
Yeah. Because she's
That's his-
constantly feeling trapped and held down.
Yeah,
Mhm.
butterflies are cocooned. You know, there's lots of stuff.
Yeah, lots of
Lots of
stuff.
stuff in this movie, man.
That's true. Yeah, and yeah, there she is. He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. And then she gets the vision of Christmas going awry.
Premonitions.
Oh yeah.
Copa's in the
Yo,
the
Copa.
chat. Copa
Hey, Papa.
apparently his wife
Jana.
at some point dressed as Oogie Boogie, and that's interesting.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool actually.
I bet that was a fun night.
Are you a gambling man, Copa?
Hey, good to have you here, Copa. And yeah, Jacob dropped the Yuletide definition relating to the season of an ancient Germanic pagan holiday centering around the winter solstice. And winter
Yeah.
solstice just rolls off the tongue. It sounds so exquisite and eloquent, you know. And yeah, you've got Jack Skellington. That's basically
Ooh.
after a long night of experimenting, he's fed up because he still hasn't found the what's it called? Like he still hasn't found the
He hasn't found
key
the answer
this-
to Christmas. The
The
key,
secret
the
of
key.
Christmas.
the secret of Christmas. And what he does is he just decides to fucking steal it because hey, he's the
'Cause
king
he's
of
American.
Halloween.
I can do it. Right? He could do it. They can do it. He can, right?
Yeah, and plus
This
well,
is
the
this
thing
is
that-
probably my favorite visual from the entire movie. By the way, when he
Oh, yeah.
wraps
Electric chair?
all the electric
Mhm.
chair with all the lights is probably my favorite visual from the whole movie.
oh yeah, and
Yeah, it's like
man,
we're gonna do what we know. We're gonna do our own little spin on this stuff. You know, we're gonna try
exactly.
to do it the way we know how to do it.
And man, and you have to keep in mind also the fact that Jack is the best at what he does. So he probably has an ego trip where he knows that he's going to be the best at being Santa Claus. You know,
So and the whole thing is because he can't figure out the actual formula for it. That's why it gets so messed up. Like that's one thing. So like essentially he's like, well, okay, fine, we'll just apply the formula we use for Halloween because
like nope.
that works fine. So why not? You know, like.
And yeah,
That would be like if someone was like, hey, you know, I have a really good meatloaf recipe, and then they try to make a cake, and they're like, they just try the same exact style, and it just comes out completely wrong.
meatloaf cake
Bro,
sounds
that sounds
kind of
gross.
good. I mean,
So, yeah, they're just like, okay, I'm gonna use the same situation, but instead we're just gonna put icing on the outside
Have
rather
you ever
than.
had an overly dense
Like,
cake
you know.
or an overly dry cake? Oh,
Yeah, it would be
it's
like,
just-
yeah, it'd be like that.
Oh,
But that's
yucky.
exactly really what it is. It's just he can't figure it out, so screw it. I'm just gonna do it the way I know works.
mhm. Yep,
Yeah.
and he brings everyone in. Like basically, it's a revolving door of a council meeting where he attributes a job to every single person.
Mhm.
And so for Dr. Finkelstein, it's the reindeers essentially.
Yes.
And so this is weird. So Dr. Finkelstein can actually just raise the dead. That's what he
Yeah.
can do.
Necromancy.
That means that people can actually die, or is he just creating
Isn't
new
he
life?
supposed to be like their version of Dr. Frankenstein, which is what Dr. Frankenstein
Meatloaf
did with
cake.
Frankenstein, right?
Yeah.
Do it, Copa.
I think that's a really good.
Let
way
me
to
know how
play
it
up
turns
his
out
skills.
with the meatloaf cake.
Oh,
Copa.
good luck,
but
Copa.
like
That's
it's weird
fancy.
because Frankenstein, he took dead people and brought them to
Yeah, he
life. However,
reanimated
Yeah.
them.
yeah, this is Halloweentown, so you can canonically die in Halloweentown. That means,
Yeah.
or is he just creating new life?
No, I think
You
he
know,
was creating them
No.
from scratch, basically.
yeah, I think that
I
would
thought
make.
didn't he use
Holy
like
shit.
He used
Guys.
bones, but I'm not sure where the bones came from.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So yeah.
It might be Jack's ribs that he threw around. That's a possibility.
all right.
Yeah.
Bear with
Go
me
ahead,
real quick.
Spencer.
Meatloaf, mashed potatoes, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, meatloaf. Like layer it and then cover the whole thing with more mashed potatoes. There's your meatloaf cake.
Dude, are you like Monica from Friends? You're trying to make the weird
Oh,
meat cake?
Rachel when she did that.
Oh, yeah,
like,
Rachel,
fried
yeah,
it, where she
Rachel.
added the ground
Yeah, you have half of a shepherd's pie.
Yeah, just do a shepherd's pie in the shape of a cake. Hell yeah, it's a great idea. Top it with some vegetables.
Hell, I
Anyway,
need it.
sorry. Um,
And yeah, so we finally get man, these three scary ass motherfuckers, Lock, Shock, and Barrel.
I
Shock-
never understood
Shock's the witch,
why-
right?
I believe so.
I think so. Yeah.
And then Locke is the devil, voiced by Paul Rubens. I
Yes.
think.
And I always love that their masks are basically just their faces.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I
always
was
Yeah.
gonna say. I don't understand the point of them having masks if it's basically just their face.
They're
Yeah.
really
Nope.
scary with the mask,
That's-
anyways.
That's a gag. It's a joke again. You know, we established you didn't understand that.
But yeah, but it's like the whole point of Halloween is to be something you're not, right?
Yeah, that's the thing, is to look different. So
I
it's
guess-
very interesting that they wear their own faces.
I guess in Halloweentown, the whole point of Halloween is like spooky, creepy, weird, macabre kind of things. That's basically it.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. And I mean, look, I saw someone say with pineapple, Melvin pizza belongs with pineapple. So that means that meatloaf cake can belong with pineapple. There
And
you
the
go. My
stream is
something wrong with you
over,
people.
everybody. We can get.
Listen, I'm a cat. Sometimes I eat whatever. And
I'm just
I actually had a cat when I was a kid, and this is like I was like a teenager, and I used to work at a bakery when I was a teenager, and I brought home cupcakes one day, and like my mother like came to my room and was like, "Why'd you lick all the icing off of the cupcakes?" And I'm like, I didn't. And then we noticed that my cat walked by and he had chocolate all over his face, and he
comedic timing.
it was
Oh
like
my God,
comedic
bro.
time. It was so great. It was fantastic. I was like, well, now we just have muffins. That's what we have now.
Yeah, dude. That's why I don't have cats, man. That's why I used to have dogs. 8 of them actually. They were all pretty cool.
Well, if a dog ate all the chocolate icing, you would have had a much bigger problem.
True, but I like vanilla, so that works in my favor. And yeah, so what Jack does, Stupendo, you wanted to say something?
No.
Yeah, and so you've got Jack that gives the job to Lock, Shock, and Barrel to steal basically Santa Claus. Well, kidnap him is the proper word. And
Kidnap the Santa Claus.
yeah, kidnap Sandy
Mr.
Claus.
I want to do it. Let's draw straws. So that's
And yeah, so we get the musical number that I didn't really just I didn't take too many screenshots of, except for when they're leaving in their weird
Bathtub.
tub.
Their
Yeah, that's
weird
Hawaii.
human-footed bathtub.
Yeah, it's weird, right? It's they have those bathtubs, those old vintage ones that have the little feet on them, and I guess it's supposed to be one of those, but it can walk. I don't know.
My favorite part of this song is when they all throw the stuff in. They throw him into the tide barrel. I don't know which one. The smaller
one of them.
They throw him in, and you see the splash of water, and then they go to jump in, and he's drained it, and they just face plant into the porcelain.
Man, I mean, they're all like really, really devilish. I mean, even
I've always, in my opinion, I've always said that they represent Mischief Night to me.
Yes,
they're like kind of
toilet paper in houses and stuff.
Yeah, it's like that's kind of what they represent to me, because like Oogie is not really Halloween. He's supposed to be like essentially like banished from Halloween, and he's they're his like proteges. So like they wouldn't be 100% Halloween either. So that was always me. It was Mischief Night was what they represented.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a really, really valid opinion on it, because they really don't fit Halloween, and everyone in Halloweentown is basically scared of them a bit, So I think that would just play in it. And yeah, the other one where I was saying the shadow of Oogie Boogie, there he is, man.
His shadow makes no sense though, if you actually think about it. Like, why would you see? Why would you see through his mouth?
Yeah,
or the eyes. He's a supernatural being. Doesn't have to make sense. I don't know. Just
that is true. Well, yeah, he is a supernatural being. I guess he could use the shadow to scare people, which would go into what Dark Hour was saying before about the video game version. So his shadow is the same entity, but it has a sort of a mind of its own, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of like Noob Saibot from Mortal Kombat. It's like it like separates off of him.
That's basically.
You seen how that's the symbols of the 4-deck of cards around the edge there? Yeah, I never noticed that before.
And then there's also the skull too. So there's actually a fifth. Fifth option.
The Halloweentown deck of cards has 5 suits.
Oh yeah, and so now we've got Sally that finally goes to Jack, and Jack requests the suit, of which Sally clearly isn't on board with, because she does appreciate Jack and the fact that he is, the Pumpkin King. So she says that this isn't for him, and she also warns him about the the premonition that she had about Christmas going sour. And he just doesn't listen to her. He just wants his suit, and that's what he gets. Then you've got these 3 that come in, and man, it's beautiful the fact that they bring in the Easter Bunny. What do you guys think about this?
I think it's great, because his poor little thing is so scared and jittery. He's like, ah!
I think there is a potential for a like short, like so that they could have put on like on DVD in the future, where it was like maybe a 5-minute thing of them going and like doing traps to try and catch the Easter Bunny. And like I think they missed out on an opportunity. They could probably still do it if they really wanted to, but I know that Tim Burton is extremely protective of the IP. So everything goes through. He's like the reverse of what George Lucas was, where like George Lucas would be like, "Oh, you wrote a book, cool, it's canon now." Like he's very much like nah, unless he has his hands in it, he doesn't want it to be part of it.
Yeah, and I mean the fact of the concept of having multiple let's say holiday figures in one movie. I think there's only one other film that since then that has been made, and I keep forgetting the title. It's called Guardians or Legend.
Rise of the Guardians.
Yeah, Rise of the Guardians. I think that's the one with Sandman.
Animated, yes, but there is also I believe
Rise
it was
of the Guardians.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, I believe it was Santa Claus 2, the Tim Allen movies. They have like the council of like everybody's like Jack Frost and like Father Time and the Tooth Fairy. So that one has it too.
Oh yeah, I've never seen the Santa Claus movies. Still never actually heard of them until Rennie said them.
They're not the greatest Christmas movies, but they're
cute. Like the first one and second one are pretty cute.
I'm the Grinch. I watch Krampus every year for Christmas. So yeah, honestly, yeah.
Silent Night,
Cranky Kitty.
So let's get everybody else's opinion on the Easter Bunny design, though, because that's what's everybody like.
It's weird that he's an actual bunny. He doesn't really talk. He doesn't seem to be.
It's kind of weird.
Hyper intelligent. I mean, seems to be kind of like a remedial higher life form.
Dude, he's traumatized. He's suffering from PTSD here.
Yeah,
so he's definitely freaked out.
My
favorite,
my favorite thing is that he's still holding the basket.
No,
so like he's been kidnapped.
Yeah,
and he's just like, so he like pops out and like I guess he's assuming he's there to do his job. And then he's like, where the hell am I? Like,
please tell me you don't have to deliver Easter eggs to these people.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably even dressed him up and wrapped the banner around him because it's nowhere near Easter time. So they were probably just like, hey, this dude he looks like the Easter Bunny. Just like he looks like something. This probably belongs to him. Let's just put everything that's around him in the bag. Man,
yeah, I mean, that could be.
Barrel or scary motherfucker.
It always got to me that he literally has a full basket of Easter eggs just ready, like as if he was in the process of delivering, but it doesn't make any sense. Like it'd be like if you woke up. It's like if you woke up for a shift you didn't need to go to. This is basically what you're looking at. Like you're like, oh, I woke up for my job, and it turns out it's Saturday, and you're like, oh, I'm not even supposed to be here.
Like Dante from Clerks. Not even supposed to be here today.
Gotta start hiding these eggs.
Oh yeah, and yeah. So we get the vision of wait, there you go, Copa. Cheers, man. I will always
pizza
put
perverts.
pineapple on pizza. That's it. And I'll get some help. You know what? I'll make you eat some whenever I see you.
In fairness, tomato sauce, tomato is a fruit. Just saying, there's already fruit on pizza, even if you don't put pineapple on it.
Yeah, but at least it's not something sweet like pineapple, man. My dad's family's Italian, and they see that as blasphemy. I'm just telling you guys.
I mean, I think most people do, except for weirdos, but
fatties.
Yeah. and yeah, so we've got Dr. Finkelstein, and what he's doing is he's looking for different heads that he can add onto the new body. Well, his new Sally basically is what he's trying to build, and this is where we were saying with the reindeer stuff that he does have bones. I think they're random bones.
Hey, he's got an Igor. I didn't notice.
Yeah, he does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has this.
I forget who played. It's the person isn't. I remember that they're not credited, but it was like somebody had to do something with the movie. It was like I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was like because of the one line they didn't credit them.
I mean, yeah. Well, uninspired had to go, but so what do we do now? Huh?
Did he just say in the private that he had to go? Well, I could still control it. That's fine.
Okay.
We both have control. I just didn't realize that he left. So yeah, we're only about not even a month away from Christmas at this point. So it's okay. That was quick. Probably didn't even have to tell us that part.
300 days went by fast.
Well,
yeah.
no, because
Yeah.
no, well, that was It was 300 days
Till
until Halloween.
Yeah, till
Oh,
Halloween.
okay, there you go. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're pretty much at Thanksgiving right here, essentially.
Yeah,
That's,
basically,
like,
and
where they're at.
everyone's working their asses off on making Christmas because it's crunch time, baby. And then you've also got the Christmas people from Christmastown that are also working very hard on their gifts. But man, these are some disgustingly weird gifts that I would never
Yeah.
like to receive. Let's just
I
say
do
that.
love the like
Yeah.
juxtaposition, like the two different, like them making their version and the real version, and like the transitions that they make are fantastic. Like when there's the sewing transition is one of them. The polishing one with the where they're polishing the sleigh and all that stuff. There's a lot of really cool transitions in this sequence.
Making
I'll tell you this
Christmas.
much. I would never want that dead animal hat. That thing was fucking creepy.
Rennie, I'm getting you that creepy duck for Christmas.
David
My
My
Crockett
compliments
hat.
from
I
me
just
to
don't
you on
want the
this, your
hat.
most intriguing hat. I love
What's
that
that?
line. I
Yeah,
said,
there
my
you go.
compliments from me to you on this, your most
Yes.
intriguing hat.
I'm just like, what? It's so ugly.
And
And
then
there
a
you go.
bat in place of this whole. Yeah, like these transitions are so good. Like I know that there's still frames here, but they go from her stuffing the stockings to like the one guy like putting stuff in the snake's mouth is such a great like.
Yeah, back.
Yeah, it's a good back and forth, and we finally get our look at the reindeer, which I think they're moose heads or something like that. Probably they look like Wendigos, honestly, like pretty.
Yeah,
weird.
they're like
Wendigo
kind of
heads.
nondescript, like quadruped animals. Essentially, they're not
A
really.
random scary
Yeah.
being. There it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, they look like angry deer, but we know they're not deer.
Oh yeah, yeah, and then so you've got one more day till Xmas, and it is finally time for them to show us Sandy Claus actually, and he has a
Sandy
long ass
Claus.
list. You can't see the entire list in this shot, but man, it is long, and he's checking out every one of them.
I love
Which
how
is
everyone's
pretty
on a
cool.
first name basis too.
Yeah, no last names.
This is also the
Oh, yeah.
longest beard I've ever seen Santa have. He's just like wizard beard almost.
Yeah, it's definitely it's one of the more like I mean it makes sense. I mean, if you think about like a lot of the exaggerations of how people are in this movie, like the mayor's hat is like twice his height and like stuff like that. So it's
I'd like to think the mayor takes
works.
his hat off and the head is like the same
the
shape.
same
like,
way.
fills the hat. Ew.
That would be disgusting. That's
Anyway.
true. Oh god.
Gandalf claws, according to Iceman. I like that.
And yeah, we've got Lock, Shock, and Barrel that give him a little visit the day before Christmas, and there
I
he
do like
is.
that they say trick or treat. By the way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like, and he's like confused, like
It's
the
like,
hell.
Who on earth would be at the door?
It's like the reason why I like, well, they scare me, but I like them is because they remind me a lot of. I don't know if you guys have actually seen the movie Trick or Treat. There's the
Yeah.
the little kid. I forget his name, man, but
Yeah, with like
basically-
the skin
Sam.
mask looker thing.
yeah, Sam. There we go, Sam. And the
Pumpkin
man, they
Sam.
remind me a lot of him because man, this isn't Halloween. It's so weird.
Yeah,
What?
Santa's basically like, come down the chimney like a normal person. Why are you guys knocking on my door?
Do you know that Saint Nicholas is the patron saint of sailors, children, and women of the night? Just so I don't get
Oh,
this
nice.
wrong.
Oh lordy.
No, that is not.
Also, Saint.
How did he meet Mrs. Claus?
Saint
Do not
Nick,
necessarily represent-
the real Saint Nick, like the actual saint, like guy, the bishop that it was based on, was known to go to like council meetings when they had like the bishop and like beat the shit out of other bishops. Like he would like literally go there, like and like it was like he was like so like no, that's not the way we're gonna do it. And he would like get into fist fights with other like bishops and archbishops and stuff.
Dude, he was
Badass
probably
bishop.
trained MMA man.
Yeah, dude, Santa Claus would not be taken without a fight.
Oh well,
Saint
there you
Nick
go.
don't
You
take
raise a
no
head.
shit.
Oh, he's got 3 hoes.
Ho ho ho! Yep. and yeah, so
Chat
we
is on
finally get-
fire today. The chat is
Oh,
very
yeah.
good. I got to say, you guys are doing really good. I haven't
We
been able
love
to
you,
keep up with
chat.
every one of them, but Here we go. The Council of Nicaea in 325. The legend goes that Saint Nicholas punched the arch heretic Arius, who argued that Jesus, in his capacity as his son, was not central eternal to God. And so he got up in the middle of a speech.
Them's fine words, boy.
And just punched a dude in the face.
It's like the senator beat down that's been going viral.
Yes, yeah, it was like that. But like,
you want to settle this right now?
But
Yeah,
like
let's do
fourth,
it.
like the 4th century version.
Man, it must have been crazy to witness politics back then. Would have been fun.
Well, politics back then were basically like, do you believe in God? No. Well, we declare war upon thee. That was basically what politics were back then.
Simpler times. And so we go back to Jack Skellington with Sally, and this is a mirror shot, which I really do appreciate the artistry there. And yeah, so she's still trying to warn him that nothing's gonna go well because of the premonition that she had. And Lock, Shock, and Barrel finally deliver Santa Claus, and we see him for the first time, and he's got a little weird Halloween lollipop, you know.
Yeah, he's got candy
like
in his
Sam.
beard, which is a nice it's a nice touch that because they captured him in their Halloween bag. So, and they were trick or treating. So
oh yeah. And yeah, so we finally see there it is, Stupenzo, the brain.
Yummy.
Brain. Oh yeah. Man, it looks so good. Like it's weird to say, but it looks really, really like I just want to touch it for some reason. Yeah, that's it. It looks like a gummy. Man. I wonder if they still have any of the actual props from this movie, and if they've auctioned some of them off.
I read yesterday that some of them are still around, and they occasionally will take them out, but because most of them are made of clay, they're very like stiff now.
Yeah.
So they're basically rocks, essentially.
It could still be cool, but I bet they wouldn't sell for as much as they'd probably like expect.
No, I think some of them would sell for an insane amount. You got to remember the people think about it. Like, there's got to be some eccentric billionaires that love this movie that would just pay a ridiculous amount for the original, the original Jack Skellington, props and stuff. That they would sell like insanity.
I'm sure the Rennie would probably buy one, if she could. A real Jack Skellington model. That would
I would. A Jack and a Sally, you better believe it.
Oh yeah.
How about you, Lance? What how about that? If you had to pick like one prop from this movie, what would everybody's be? I think that's a good.
That's a tough ask. I'd probably I'd actually want the model of Halloweentown.
Okay, that's a good one.
Okay,
yeah, no right angles allowed in Halloweentown.
Exactly. Create.
I think in keeping with my thing from before, I think I would want the electric chair with the lights on it. I think that'd be a pretty cool one to have.
Yeah, especially if it functions. The lights.
Yeah, like you could turn it on and off. That'd be pretty cool.
You guys,
how about you, Rennie?
Is so full. Well, I probably would take a Jack and a Sally, to be honest.
Yeah.
Don't
worry. This is hypothetical. You could we could hypothetically remove some things from your house for space for it. Don't worry.
Probably, I was gonna say, because I have so many like Jack Skellington things, Sally things. Like, it's not even funny. Like,
you have like a proper trophy case with the original one.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Cool. I'd probably put it up in a shadow box on the wall.
Ooh.
How about you, Enzo?
I do like that little Jack Skellington with the glasses on the little car he stole from Christmastown.
Okay,
that's cool.
I like that.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Uninspired, it just leaves you.
Dude, I'm looking at it. It's the brain, man.
The brain does look pretty cool. There's a lot of cool little details on that brain.
Yeah, it's nice and shiny too. It's I don't know. It's cool. I'd probably not get the doctor himself, but if I can actually just have the brain, that would probably be it.
Brain.
How about you guys in chat? If you had to pick a specific one, I'll pick them out as you guys go along.
Yeah, and you can go like Lance. You can pick like an entire set if you want to.
Yeah, that's fine. We have Smilex wants the creepy mask kids. So that's...
Lock, Shock, and Barrel. Yeah,
but yeah, we'll move on. If somebody else says what they would want from the movie, I'll pop it up.
Oh yeah, and hey, it's Oogie Boogie that we see.
It's so weird. It's almost as if there's nothing supposed to be like nothing behind him. I guess I don't really know.
But he's like made of bugs.
But he's made of bugs. But then I guess they don't permeate up to his head.
Cloth. But there's still a cloth
at
the back of his head.
Whenever they unravel him, he's like head to toe bugs.
Yeah.
Steven
Which is better than him being like Dr. Finkelstein, Finkelstein. Yeah. And also he, like I said earlier, He was very difficult to animate because he is like a burlap sack, so he was like full of wires in real life.
Yeah, they had one of the hardest. I think they said the second hardest scene to do was the actual like unveiling that he's bugs.
That
because
one scene,
they all had to be made individually.
Yeah, that one shot. It's like 2 killer shots, and it took like I think months to do it. Because like anytime someone had downtime, they said, "All right, well, if you're not doing anything, go make more insects for that one shot at the end of the movie." They were working on that shot continuously for like most of the time. Like it's so crazy. But what's also interesting is every time you get merchandise of Oogie Boogie Man, he's this bright green color when he's actually burlap brown. But
it's because
it's
of the neon of his.
Yeah.
It's the neon of his and the black light of his like lair.
I mean, I've seen some of his figurines be like the burlap brown, but the ones that I've seen that are green are glow in the dark typically.
Yeah, he should be glow in the dark too. It's awesome. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
this whole black and white, and the reason why the scene looks so great is because it's literally lit with black lights. It's not like a visual effect. It's just like, let's just do the claymation under black lights, and it looks badass. It's like Belly.
It really, really does. and so we see him again here with the black light. We get a better shot too of him torturing Sandy Claus, because that's where Lock, Shock, and Barrel sent him to. So Oogie Boogie basically lives under the Lock, Shock, and Barrel house, I guess, in the basement.
Yeah, it's basically I'm guessing that he just has a full-on dungeon down there, and the house is essentially a front for the dungeon. Kind of like the thrift shop in Pulp Fiction. It's basically like what that is.
Okay. Yeah. True. And
I kind of see it as like a torture chamber. He literally just lives to torture people.
Which is probably why Jack was like, "Don't take him to fucking Oogie Boogie Man. I don't want him to be tortured."
Yeah. There's a couple of like storylines. I think one of them's from the video game I mentioned earlier, and then there's a couple of like unofficial ones, and then there's some ones that were official, but like apparently like Oogie Boogie is actually from like a different area. He's not actually from Halloweentown. He's from
New Orleans.
He's got this gambling. Yeah, this gambling thing
got
going.
The gambling stuff. He's like,
but he was like the purveyor of a long dead holiday called like Bug Day or something like that. And so like he kind of wants to usurp Jack. So it makes sense that he's kind of like in this off kingdom with a dungeon and stuff.
Well, I could imagine, because the first thing that actually came up to mind whenever he was doing his song is it reminded me a lot of the Voodoo Man from The Princess and the Frog. And I was like, I don't know, it's weird. All the villains get weird jazz music, which is pretty cool, because like jazz is one of my favorite genres to listen to, just chilling.
Yeah.
But yeah. And
he was played by a jazz singer, right? Or no?
What's his name? I guess he's played by Ken Page. Yeah. So yeah, and then we got Sally that's here. She's trying to disrupt with some fog juice, which again, it's literally just fog juice, which is pretty funny. And so what she tries to do is basically just get Jack grounded. Well, keep Jack grounded, because she still doesn't trust his mission to try and make Christmas. How would I say Christmas, Halloween, Christmas? No,
she feels there's something bad about to happen.
Cursed.
Yeah, so, it's funny because if you look at the speech that the mayor is reading off of, it's actually written on there as he's like going through it. It's word for word on the actual paper. Yeah,
that's actually a really good detail I hadn't noticed before. Man. Maybe the actor needed lines, the puppet. He couldn't recall them. They were just like, fuck it. But you've got Zero that comes to the rescue, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
But one detail.
Little Jack
Go on.
Lantern.
Yeah, I was going to say, yes, Stupenza said exactly what I was going to say. It's actually a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
Which is a cool little...
Yeah, it's a little tiny jack-o'-lantern.
That's actually pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's a cool little detail.
And then we get the flight. There he is. Man.
Now they're skeletons, so they don't have nerves, so him whipping them is completely pointless.
Sure.
You have to imitate Christmas. He probably read that's something the Santa Claus does, so that's why he did it.
So I've narrowed it almost down to the year that this could be. This is supposed to take place in. So there was this clearly takes place sometime between World War II and 1993, the year that the movie came out. There was only 5 Christmas Eves in that time that had full moons. 1950, 1958, 1969, 77, 88. Later on, you see in one of the houses there's like a commemorative Elvis Presley plate for Blue Christmas, which came out in 1964. So it has to be 1969, 1977, or 1988. It's the only.
It's 88.
I'm guessing 88. Yeah, that was very nerd alert of me.
You know, it's great.
These are the kind of things that I do for these streams, though.
Actually, if there was a full moon on Halloween, then it'd be impossible to have a full moon on Christmas. Christmas would be a waxing moon. Sorry. You lose.
I mean, for me, well, what do you think? What's your bets? For me, honestly, it's 88
like
because of the
magical
full.
world. It's like the full moon's full 24/7. I think. I don't know. It's like what?
Listen, I'd say 88 because
look, this is the kind of thing that
well, yeah, if
people
I had
come
to
here
guess one of the
to
years,
for.
88. Sure.
It's not in the it's not in the known Earth timeline. It's in an alternative timeline. So all the years that you're quoting are meaningless.
Yeah, you guys are like trying to get all Star Trek.
It's either 1969, 1977, or 1988.
It's not, man. When it cuts to Earth, there's no Christmas on Earth that actually looks like that. There's no Christmastown in our known universe. This is in the Burton universe.
This whole movie's a metaphor for the artistic process.
Yeah, these years you're going on don't exist in this world.
Well, if it was made by modern Disney, they'd be like, it actually is representative of the patriarchy and not listening to Sally.
No, it's actually representative of Disney ruining all these IPs, like thinking, oh, how hard could it be to make all this stuff? Like, I got it. We could, just do it the way we like to do it. How hard could it be?
Look, Smilex is getting into the spirit of the stream, and Steven Ransom appreciates the amount of research I did to talk about this for 30 seconds. Okay,
it's 1979 AB after Burton.
Look, anybody who's watched any of my videos knows I do random research for no reason.
Yep.
Over preparedness.
Do you remember? Did you ever see old reruns of Cheers? You could be like our Cliff Clavin, like just a random facts and trivia.
That is pretty much who I am in real life. People like stare at me sometimes because I'll just have like really weird, like obscure details, and they're just like, okay, like I'm like, you don't. I just listen to what people say. It's just like,
why did I need to know that?
and so we've got Sally. That's pretty much sad, and I think this is the point where she has her song, right? If I'm not mistaken, after Jack is gone, because she doesn't want to stop him. And you've got the jazz singers. Man, I should have gotten a screen of the jazz guys in the back because they're just awesome.
The one inside of the cello is the face is based on Danny Elfman.
Yes.
1 and 2 and 3.
Yeah. He's based on Danny Elfman.
Yeah, he looks like Danny Elfman for sure. Little
That's,
Alfred
I
Newman
don't know
with
if that's
red
a
hair.
compliment to Danny Elfman or not.
No, he's a weird looking guy.
Yeah,
You know,
not hot.
you're not too far off, Ransom. You're not too far off.
He's
There
one of
are
those
ti-
guys that looks worse with age. Danny Elfman.
Yeah,
Some
I
guys
know.
like age finally. He does.
In my Marvels video, I'm using like a clip of Danny Elfman speaking, and he does look very, very weird. He kind of looks
lizard-like.
So I'm not really sure if Sally constitutes as a corpse because she doesn't have any organs. I'm not even sure if she actually has
she's
skin.
stuffed with leaves.
She's stuffed with leaves, so I'm not really sure if she counts as a corpse. She's kind of.
But isn't that why her skin's blue?
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure exactly if it's supposed to be
She's like
skin or not
a
even.
Frankenstein kind of creature. That's what I thought, except for stuffed with leaves.
I'm not sure. We could go with corpse. I'm not really 100% certain.
Go. But the Smilex, I'd give her one, sure. Also, the corpse from the Corpse Bride.
Face.
Yeah, backface. What's up? And also the corpse from the Corpse Bride too. Yeah, she's pretty cute. Moving on.
Wait, it's that point of the stream where uninspired goes to horny jail.
There's no horny jail. They're like, he's like grasping at straws because there's no like horniness in this movie. He's like,
and we say that when a kid pops up. My God, guys, come on, we've got to compose ourselves.
This kid's like,
never heard of horny jail before. That's hilarious.
So here's the thing. So we were talking about his height before. I'm gonna just go based on this. So that kid, figure that he's probably about supposed to represent anywhere between like 2 to 3 feet. And
2 feet.
Let's go. Jack is completely bent over, handing him this gift, and he's still like 3 times his height.
Tall motherfucker.
So he's got to be like 9-10 feet tall.
Yeah.
Santa's looking rough these days.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
I mean, he's just at the end of the delivery cycle. Okay, it's a very rough night out there.
Yeah, and yeah, so you've got him delivering the voodoo thingies from Harry Potter 3 that you see in the the bus. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the night
then-
bus.
Yeah, he's traumatizing people. I know, because Harry Potter has been being shown like on French TV. They're doing every single one of them, and one per, I think, like every day of the week, which is pretty cool. But yeah, moving on to
Monster
Nightmare
Soup.
Before Christmas.
One thing I'm really appreciative in this movie is they don't skimp, and it's not just for Oogie. They don't skimp on the shadows at all. The shadows are always really well done, because they could have got the lighting really bad in some of these like takes and just went with it because they were like, oh, we've been doing this for 2.5 years. Let's just get this shit done already. But they don't. And the shadows are always really well placed and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I do think. Well, do you guys know how they made the Do you think that for the shadows they use the same techniques that they did for the ghosts at the beginning? Since
I think
it
so.
does
I think
flow.
no. I think that some of them I have a feeling are
It's real
actual
shadows.
legit
Real
shadows
shadows.
because they have to light the. If you use the lighting correctly on the models, it would cast the shadow correctly.
Guys, I've got to run. Sorry.
It's not
okay.
a problem,
No problem,
Lance. It was
Lance.
good having you.
No
Do you want
problem.
to plug anything before you gotta go? Or
I'm
Yes, sir.
really gutted because it's all getting to my favorite part of the movie. Yeah, I've got a stream on the Crown that's already late, so that's going to be on in about 20 minutes. I'm going to be talking about the
Awesome.
whole show, not just this season.
right,
Me and Depenzo are going to be doing a regular Tuesday night slot called the Nielsen ratings. See what I did there?
Mhm.
And,
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that.
I
on
love
Tuesdays.
puns. If you can't tell by the name of this show, I love puns.
Well, we're going to be doing that
Next Tuesday. Right?
Tuesday weeks for the first one, every 10 p.m. or 5
Not this
p.m.
upcoming
East Coast.
Tuesday, though, right?
Yeah. So
Right.
we're doing Napoleon on the first one and some other whatever else we've seen.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing Napoleon with Lance. That's probably gonna be next week, I think. Lance,
Yeah.
I've got the
Yep.
confirmed date for when I'm gonna go watch it at the cinema, so I'll send it to you when I'm done with the stream, so we
All
can
right.
plan out. But yeah, I'll be on with Lance later this week. So yeah, go check him out.
Yeah.
Go subscribe if you haven't. Lance has incredible content on his channel. He interviews a lot of people that are from the industry. So
Dude,
Yeah,
he's
I
got
did,
connections.
check him
He's got
out.
connections, ladies and gentlemen.
he's
I did
connected.
three interviews last week, and they were all really, really great. But one of them I had to heavily edit. But yeah, it was really, really good stuff. So they're all up.
It got raunchy. He had to edit it a little bit.
No, we showed too many clips of the films, but they were on the
Yeah.
guy's show reel. But yeah,
Sure.
take them out.
Sure.
It's just really
Oh,
annoying.
yeah.
It's all right.
But,
well,
All right, guys. Sorry, I've got to run, but thanks very
No
much.
problem.
Always a
having you on,
pleasure.
Lance.
Never a chore. I'll see you soon.
Lance.
enjoy your
Bye.
soup, Lance.
See you, Lance.
I will. Like Scrooge, sucking it through a straw.
Oh. Yeah, I was on
now
that.
that lame dude's gone, we can have.
No, I
fun
was on
now.
that Wolf Creek stream with Lance with one of the main actors from that movie. That was great. It was
Yeah,
fun.
what is it?
Yeah.
Cassandra McGrath, I think her name. is?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wonderful
I
guest.
wouldn't with my like love for Australian accents. I would have been a horrible like host on that. I've been like, could you just keep saying things in your accent?
Dude,
As
I
long
just
as you
do
don't just like
drooling.
impersonate her. As long as you don't just keep doing an Australian accent, that's worse, right?
But yeah,
Yeah,
there's the
depends
link.
on the Australian.
Yeah, he's got a
Right.
stream coming up. So after we're
Yeah.
done here, everyone please pop over to that if you can.
For sure. And yeah, so once again we've got police people. We finally see police, and
He's
we
got
finally
Santa
see
mug.
humans that aren't children, except for this kid's parents that you don't see. And
They
it's
don't ever
kind of
show
like
the
the
adults' heads. Charlie Brown.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of
that's-
like the Cartoon Network stuff. They never show the more Boomerang. So cow and chicken.
I
they
also
never
think
show
that
the parents.
that may have also been just to cut down on time,
Right.
because if you're not sure, the faces
Emotion.
are the things that take the most time with stop motion animation.
Yeah.
Because you have to keep moving, like taking different pieces off and putting them back on.
Yeah.
And so they probably just kind of were like, these are such quick characters that only have like a line or two. Let's just get them out of the way with as little facial emotion that we can.
I like how he's
Well,
got
yeah,
a little
for sure.
sunglasses dude on a sketch pad. Do you think he's drinking coffee, or do you think?
No,
they
that's
just
I don't
drink,
think
like,
I don't
milk
think
and
that's
eggnog?
sunglasses. I think that's him drawing
The sketch.
Oh,
Jack.
Jack, the perp. You're right.
Yeah.
He's drawing the perpetrator. Oh, that's awesome.
It reminds me
He
of that
also
meme,
played tic-tac-toe with himself, if you look
Yeah,
closely.
yeah. But yeah,
it
I
reminds
think
me of that
he,
meme, the news guys. You know, he's like, yeah, we finally have a sketch of our perp, and then you just see a weird, like, horribly drawn sketch. Oh man, you guys
an
should check that out
emoji.
if you have it.
Yeah, he's just drinking eggnog, eating cookies at his desk all year
Yep.
round.
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of is the perfect world, isn't it? So police would probably be just there for, I guess, nothing. Actually, they'd probably just do anything. You know, just
I know
roam around.
We all talked about how like Halloween, except for Russ, like Halloween's our favorite holiday. But if I had the choice between
Except for
living in
me too.
Halloweentown
Oh, yeah, me
or
too.
Christmastown, there's no. I'd live in Christmastown. There's cookies and pies and snow all the time.
You know, I grew
I don't
fat
know.
in
I think I'd
Christmas now.
enjoy Halloweentown, but that's just me.
I'd end up
I
looking
mean-
like Black Garfield after a week in Christmastown.
I mean, Thanksgiving Town, you get to watch football every day because
Oh my
it's
god! But it's the
always
same game every day.
Yeah,
all
but
the
it's, yeah,
time.
It's the
it's
same
the Dallas
thing.
Cowboys. Who gives a shit? No.
the Cowboys or the Detroit Lions game every day.
Forget it. I'd rather not.
Oh man! And
For our
oh, yeah.
international audience, that would be like I don't really know the equivalent.
Rugby.
Hell, it'd be like hell.
I don't know what teams have the reputations though.
And yeah, so I want to just do this super chat from Northern English Bastard that we hadn't done before for £2. Thank you, Northern English Bastard. And
As Mr. Brown would call it, real monies, people.
real money, folks. And, shout out to Mr. Brown as well. We'll link his
He'll
stuff
be on
in the,
soon. He's
in the
on,
chat. Yeah,
next
he'll
month.
be on
Yeah.
soon. Yep. And my wife's favorite for both Halloween and Xmas. Yep. I think that's Rennie's favorite too. And
It's
Stupenzo,
really
one of
the-
Stupenzo's favorites as well.
It's really like honestly,
Thank you,
they
Northern
hit
English
on
Bastard.
something, and I know I said it before, but the fact that they hit on this movie that can be played for two different, very different holidays is
Best of both worlds.
awesome.
Yeah.
Double
That doesn't
dipping.
happen much.
Yeah, Gord, Jack Skellington.
Jacques Skellington.
That's actually probably how they would call it. I do have to check
Skellington.
what they'd call
Skellington.
it, because most of the times when you look for the French translation, you get the Canadian French translation, which
Oh,
is
that's
just
weak.
abysmal.
People, Canadian
Yeah.
French isn't even acknowledged by the people who live in Canada.
Unless you're Celine Dion. But that's about it.
So yeah, and yeah, so on screen we've got some weird looking shadows, just to say the least.
This is a great prop too. The living wreath.
Wreath.
It's such a great one. Apparently, Bagface lives in French. I'm sorry.
I know.
For you.
Sacre
That
bleu.
My
No one
apologies,
told you
that-
you have to live there. Like, I'm sorry.
Leave at any time. No, just kidding.
Bagface, you can come to actual France and experience real French, not
Or
like
you could
Canadian
speak English like
French.
Jesus did. Okay.
Uninspired.
At least he doesn't look like Terrence and Phillip.
I will show you who laugh like the bullfrog.
And yeah, so you've got Jack that's just popping through chimneys actually and annoying the fuck out of people. And man, it is crazy.
Yeah, he's not
Look at him.
realizing the havoc he's causing. He thinks he's doing good still,
Well, yeah, that shows you
Disillusioned.
the insight of the people in Halloweentown, as I was saying before. For them, like causing mayhem is good. So
There's your
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse, other Mickey Mouse cameo. They had to shrink
Oh,
those
yeah,
things,
yeah.
that thing's ears.
wait, that was Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
Well,
they had to
it
shrink
was
its
an
ears a little bit.
cameo.
Or a nod
Yeah.
to him, yeah.
Oh,
They made him
okay.
shrink its ears because it's like it looks too much like Mickey. It's like, yeah, it's supposed to. It's
No,
like,
no,
yeah,
but I could see it. Yeah, I could see it.
Oh, yeah, now that you
Can't
say,
have
I can
very-
see it.
also the
And
it's funny
I
because
guess that's Donald Duck then. I guess.
yeah, both of these props are similar to, like you said, he's working on Batman Returns, the big
Mhm.
cat face things in Batman Returns, and so is that.
And,
killer duck
and the
thing.
raft thing.
It's
Yeah, the
crazy.
duck raft. Yeah, I never put that two and two together on that. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Tim Burton's a one-note hack confirmed. No, I'm just joking.
I mean, was Tim Burton involved in? I forget that name because the movie actually gets forgotten a lot. Frankenweenie. I don't know if he was
Yes,
involved
that's
in
all
that.
him.
Yeah.
And Henry
So,
Selick
yeah.
was the original, right? He was part of that one too, right? Henry
I
Selick.
think
I
so.
think so,
Possibly.
but Tim
That
Burton.
one
Yeah.
was. That's not
didn't
one of those ones
and
I've watched
thought
a
of it.
lot. I think I've seen that maybe once.
I saw it once when it came out.
Frankenweenie's not that awesome.
Yeah, so that's
All
what
of them,
live
you get.
action
everyone
short.
that came after that just kind of to me just felt like it was trying to recapture a glory that it couldn't do.
You
But
guys are
yeah,
all talking about
for Tim Burton, for me, yes. But one of my all-time animated features is stop motion. It's Paranorman. I really, really like that one. But Tim Burton doesn't touch that one. There's also Monster House, which is
Monster
very
House is
fucking
great.
good. And
like
yeah, so Frankenweenie is basically Tim Burton unleashed whenever he wants to
Are you
do
talking
stop
about the
motion stuff.
claymation movie, or are you talking about the Tim Burton
Because
short
there's
film?
a short and a
Because
movie.
the Tim
yeah.
Burton short film I used to watch and rent all the time is a little live
The
action
short's
black and white
cute.
movie.
The movie is drawn out.
Which one are you guys talking about?
the
Monster House?
claymation. No. Frankenweenie.
No, Frankenweenie. I'm talking about the entire hour-long movie.
The
The
movie.
live action or claymation?
Claymation. There's a live action one?
Yeah, that's what we're getting at. See, here, we forget you're a child, so we're like, oh wait, we're talking about the black and white live action one. I see.
No, I'm talking about the claymation one, because the claymation one is Tim Burton, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, they both
The one
are.
that came out
2012
ago,
is
right?
the
Okay,
is the claymation one, and the
Yeah.
live action one is 1984.
that's
Yeah.
the short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Short's
Yeah.
great.
I'll
I
have
knew
to
what
check
you were
that
I'm
talking
one
just,
about.
out.
I
I'm
was
just
there
gonna
with
sit
you.
that part out because I'm actually being told that there's a live action one for the first time in my life too. So
Yeah, same. Good for you. That shit existed.
Yeah, the
It
live
play-
action is the original short.
Yeah, it plays like a
Oh, okay.
Nickelodeon special or something. It's got this like Pete and black and white vibe. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool though. It's
I
pretty
never knew
cool.
that existed.
It's one
Yeah,
of his
same.
firsts.
And yeah, so people are locking their doors, putting fires. Well, adding. wood to
They're cranking the fires up.
Yeah, cranking the
Yeah.
fires up in the chimneys, and man, this is I took the screen grab because man, the hand models are pretty good. They actually look like proper CG animation,
And
like
five
that you would
finger
see
hands
today.
too.
Yeah.
The locks look like they're actually made of real metal. So
Oh wow,
Something Jack doesn't realize is Christmastown is armed.
yeah,
All right.
well, this is
They-
I think
they
this is the
believe in
real
the
world. This
Second
isn't
Amendment. Yeah.
Christmastown. This is like the
Right.
real world.
Right.
yeah. This is the real world. So people are just there, and you've got the on air with the woman that's saying that you have to be careful. You've got a dude that's out here giving people They do, even though it's the real world, they do acknowledge the existence of Santa Claus as an
Yeah.
actual entity. So let's just say it's the real imaginary world, I guess.
The real imaginary world.
Yeah, the real imaginary Tim Burton
Imagination
world.
land.
And so yeah, I do like this addition, having the woman announce everything to the town, because this is something that I completely disregarded when I was a kid. I didn't even remember that it was in the movie. So seeing it, like, I don't know, I just think it added a little something. And yeah,
It has a real like the Warriors vibe to it, of her kind of like telling you what's happening as it's going along.
yeah. Well, it gives you the feeling that Jack Skellington is an actual menace. You know, I think that it makes it more. How would I say this? Even though we just said it's the real imaginary world, it does make it feel grounded. You know, especially seeing a cop as well. You know, because when you're a kid, when you know that a cop is basically a sign of authority and something like that. So when you see a cop's involvement in a cartoons film, it just does something subconsciously to your mind. At least that works for me. Yeah, I don't know about you guys.
No, I think you're right.
And so yeah, so you've got well, there you go. This is 1977 Earth, I guess. So you've got Sally that sees, well, everyone is actually watching in the huge cauldron what Jack is doing, and so they see everything and they're pretty happy, except for Sally, because she knows that something's going to go wrong. And essentially,
not
what you
just
have,
that, but I think
go ahead.
she can kind of sense she can read the room, so to speak, and be like, I don't think everybody's having as much fun as Jack thinks they're having.
Yeah.
So I think she can see that as well.
Yeah, I agree, and yeah, so you've got the full humans basically just shooting down Jack with.
Well, this is his problem. He was over America, okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when you're over America. Damn it!
You're in
Except
a
if you're,
restricted airspace.
You are in restricted airspace, and we have big guns.
Ready, I was
Unless
gonna
it's a
say the
balloon.
exact same thing, unless it's a balloon. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, had to be said.
You take that shit to some other country where we don't have artillery aimed at the sky at all times.
And so you've got Sally that's also going to Oogie Boogie's place to break out Santa Claus because she wants him to go and fix Christmas, knowing exactly what we said before, that Jack Skellington is actually how do you say, causing havoc? Yeah, causing
Wreaking
havoc.
havoc.
Wreaking
Yeah,
havoc is
wreaking.
what
Dude,
you
I
mean?
was looking for the word wreaking. I
Jack
was like,
Sputnik.
wrecking?
He's wrecking Christmas.
You wrecking Christmas. Look, man, America.
Look, we don't need that thing to say armed. We know it is, okay?
America, fuck yeah.
I
like
want to
how,
do that
I
movie
just
one
watched
day.
that not too long ago.
What was it? You got Sally distracting Oogie Boogie Man with her
Yes.
disembodied
Her
leg.
foot?
Yeah.
Yeah, her foot. Except that you've got Oogie Boogie actually found out and wisped them away. Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
word I'm looking for. And
Oogie
and
Boogie
yeah.
sees the foot and immediately walks up to it, just starts like tickling it. Like, hey,
Yeah, he's like,
grab it.
"Ooh, a
Ooh,
foot."
Oh, he
tickle,
needs
tickle,
a
tickle."
he needs a bonk, you know. That's what Oogie Boogie
Didn't
needs.
realize Oogie Boogie was a foot guy.
Yeah. He got
Maybe
foot
Tim Burton
fetish.
was trying to tell us something. You never know.
She's
The-
got legs. She knows how to lose them. Anyway, I'm sorry.
You've been sitting on that one all
No,
day.
it just came to me. Literally.
Fictional Tim Burton Western America. No,
Yep.
actual.
It's the real imaginary world. That's what I'm saying. God damn it.
If there's
And,
one thing they got, if there's one thing they got accurate, it's the guns.
Tim Burton always portrays, or at least in his earlier movies, he portrays society as like this very Leave It to Beaver type, Pleasantville, strange and square, like the oddities of like normal suburban life, because he's a weirdo. So it's just like, I don't know. It's just like it seems so alien to him, suburban normal life.
Maybe Tim is an alien. Who knows, man?
He kind of looks like one, and his wife even more so. So.
Yes, actually, yes. And so Jack gets shot down because fuck yeah, America.
He thinks
And,
that they're like celebrating him with fireworks. Like, hey guys, you're
He's
getting a
like,
little
"Oh."
close.
Yeah,
Oh,
at
they're
first,
actually
yeah.
aiming at me.
Yeah.
They're trying to shoot us.
Yeah.
But then he gets he kind of realizes that he is the menace and he spoiled Christmas. But he is happy that he did his best though. But he embraces becoming the Pumpkin King and his newfound love for Halloween and scaring people.
Yes.
So
I love that.
yeah, I
Figured out
think
new
it's a
clever
cool
ways
part.
to scare people.
And that's basically what he wanted to do since the beginning. That's what the film set him up to do. But he does also have to right his wrongs and redeem Christmas. So he goes back to what's it called? Halloweentown, essentially.
Which apparently just walking into any like mausoleum,
Cemetery.
like we'll do that. So
Yeah.
Yep. You basically just need to enter a cemetery, and that's
yeah,
all
you
you
just need
do.
to, as long as there's a mausoleum underground, you can get to Halloweentown apparently.
And yeah, so we finally see Oogie Boogie and Sally and Sandy Claus with the 8-ball pool with the 8-ball, I guess, machine.
That's like it's like blades on a. It's weird. I'm not really 100% certain what it is, but
same.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wants to thrust them into melting. I guess
he wants to
melting
Terminator
cauldron,
2 their
I'd call
ass.
them. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Terminator 2 'em.
But then
How
you've
does
got
Jack even know that they're here? I mean, I assume he finds out from the kids, I guess.
I
But
think so. I
Yeah.
think he talks to the kids. and
He
they're
comes
like,
Well,
straight
because
here.
he wants to go to he wants to redeem Christmas. So what he would do would go to Lock, Shock, and Barrel first, and they'd
Mhm.
probably tell him, yeah, he's
Yeah, well,
still-
he would have to
would
go and
assume.
find out where Santa is, and I think deep down he knew they were going to take him to.
Yeah, he knows.
to
It's always Oogie
Oogie
Boogie
the whole
man.
time.
It's always Oogie Boogie. Always. He's the common denominator in all the shit in Halloweentown.
That damn, he's like red herring in
He's technically, like, banished,
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's banished because in I looked it up. It was a different video game, but it was another one that was written off as canon. That he had his own holiday called Bug Day.
Yeah.
And he's been trying to he tried to usurp Halloween as like the scare holiday, and for some reason they basically let him live in Halloweentown out of like pity, essentially.
Poor
Jesus.
bastard.
Wow.
I swear, what a shitty life, man. No
Yeah.
wonder. But so
he's like
Jack
Halloweentown's Grinch, basically.
Yeah,
I'll be
And
damned.
Jack fights him. He brings in the gunslingers that I pretty much appreciate. I really like them. They were set up before, but we hadn't brought them up. I do think that the design is also cool. I'd
They're
probably
slot machines, right?
Yeah, there's slot
they are.
machines, and every
One-armed
time the
bandits.
slot goes off and they like hit a thing, they shoot. And like
The one-armed bandits are a nickname for slot machines because they steal all
Yeah.
your money.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And not only that, but it's everything. The way it's implied is that everything is set up for him to always succeed at the gambling.
Yeah,
Like,
he wins.
except
the
yeah,
house
he
always
wins.
always
So like
wins, yeah.
house always wins. So like
Mhm.
they in this instance, it's like essentially every time the slot goes off, it's shooting. So it's like
Yep. And then there we go. We have his untimely death because
Here's the money shot. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it took
My
so long.
bucks.
Shot one,
My
shot two.
bucks.
Jesus. I never assumed that they were actually stop motion. I don't know why. The entire movie
They're-
is stop motion, but this one just crossed my mind completely. It
The
was
third, there's a third 24 frames per second shot, and that's when the smoke's coming out of the well when Sally poisons it. But the fourth
Mhm.
shot is when those bugs are falling into the roulette table at the very end. But after this, once
you
after
won't,
he
you probably
falls,
won't see it.
yeah, it's not there.
Yeah.
It's like the shot right after this where they're all dripping onto the roulette table. That's filmed in just normal speed with real bugs.
Yeah, with real bugs.
I think so.
Nasty.
Fun.
Hey, I mean, I'm from Chad, and in Chad they do eat crickets, so
Oh,
it's
that's
pretty
so
good.
nasty.
You'd actually be surprised, Randy.
It's good. It's good protein.
I'll
They
listen to
taste
Rennie.
exactly like Nutella. I shit you not. Yes, yep. They taste exactly.
No,
like
don't do this
Nutella.
to me.
See,
I love
that
Nutella.
might be why.
Don't do
it's
this to
really
me,
weird.
man.
I don't like hazelnut and I don't like Nutella, so I'm good.
Now I gotta
will
try
not be
crickets.
missing out.
I doubt. I
They
highly
taste
doubt crickets
exactly
have
like
like
Nutella.
7 cups of sugar in them like Nutella does.
Dude, well, the thing is that the first time I ate crickets was after watching, the movie Snowpiercer, where they have all the food made out of
my
bugs,
God.
and instantly in my head I was like, "Damn,
Gel,
Nutella must be
jelly.
just crickets," It's a possibility. Dark
Anyway,
Hour.
That's
Not
why it
doing it.
tastes nasty. Well,
Do you know what?
This.
You know what
Have
else
you
tastes
heard-
exactly? No, but do
Have
you know
you
what
heard
else
this
tastes
random
exactly like
fact?
Nutella?
Nutella.
Nutella.
Have you heard this random fact? Let me tell you this since you're Mr. Trivia. They
Which
say
one?
that chocolate bars, candy bars have up to.
They
I
have
think
spider
it's-
legs and other bugs
No,
in it.
it's
Yeah,
like
because
up to I forget how much percent.
Yeah.
I think it's like 10 or 20% bugs because of all the bugs that get in the machinery.
yeah,
Coffee,
because they're-
coffee too.
Yeah,
Ground
yeah,
coffee
because,
as well.
because you're pulling the beans out of the ground and there's going to be bugs that are like
Yeah.
It's
harvested
inevitable.
with it. Yeah. I don't know what the exact percentage is, but yes, I have heard that.
See, there you go.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
already eaten them and you didn't even know.
Yes, but I didn't do it like consciously, willingly. I'm like,
Well, I mean, whenever my mom went to Chad and came
just
back,
gonna go
from
into
Chad,
just gonna go into a Petco and be like, hey, can I get a pound of the
Some Nutella?
crickets? And they'll be like, oh, what for what? I'm like, dinner. It's like-
dude. I mean, my mom brought back entire Tupperwares from Chad of crickets and weird bugs because I mean they just fry them and eat them over there. So, I
I'm
mean,
surprised she was allowed to do that because usually you're not
dude,
allowed to
it's
like,
Africa,
bring
man.
living
It's
things.
Africa.
But I'm
They do
saying
not
to
do that
bring them
shit.
back, like usually going through customs with anything like that.
Oh no,
they're
no,
gonna be
no!
like,
They weren't
"Absolutely the hell
living.
not."
They were
Oh,
already like grilled, so it was pretty cool. But,
Okay,
I mean,
I'd rather just eat grilled, not bugs. But then again, lobsters are basically just sea cockroaches, and I eat lobster.
are.
So yeah.
yeah, cockroaches. I'd never try one for sure.
No, thank you.
Yes.
What if I smothered it with butter and lemon? No, I'm just
Zero
joking.
fucks. Not gonna eat
okay.
it.
Nope, never.
Lobster's
You could even
different.
like mask it or something. But
That's right.
if I ever meet you guys like in real life, which will probably happen, I'll try and get some crickets for you guys to eat, for you to compare with Nutella. you
Dude,
know,
I
so-
got
Oh,
crickets
sir, I will
here.
not be eating that shit.
There's probably a cricket in my house right now because for some reason they get in my doorway my front door all the time. There's got to be a hole somewhere, and I have to like go over and like pound the door jam to get them to shut the hell up. I'm just like, please.
Yeah, but I bet you they're not
Noisy-ass
like
fucking neighbors.
the Chad-sized crickets. Those are.
Oh no, we got
some
we get
other stuff.
sprickets here. They're like this big with like these. Well, they're spider crickets.
Oh.
Spider
Oh my
crickets.
God.
They have like really wide leg span. They look like a jumping spider.
Okay.
Oh, man.
That's just
But-
nasty.
Love it.
All right, moving
Vinegaroons.
on.
There you go.
From the cricket talk.
No, vinegaroon is a completely different
Those are
thing.
creepy ass bugs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you basically got Jack Skellington that, well, as we showed before, he took care of Oogie Boogie, and he's talking to Santa Claus, who gives him a proper scolding because, well, hey, he did destroy Christmas, but it's Santa Claus, and weirdly enough, he could have gotten out of the situation whenever he wanted to, I guess, because he just
Did he
uses his
do that?
magic.
That's a
Yeah,
spider
that's a
cricket.
weird thing.
Oh my god.
Oh,
They're completely harmless. They've
That's
evolved to look like
disgusting.
spiders, so things avoid them.
I'd burn my house if that was in it. I'm not
Yeah,
even
like,
joking.
kill
I
it with
hate
fire,
spiders. Oh, dude, for sure. Like I hate spiders already. So if a cricket spider comes in, I don't care if you look like a spider. You're done. That's it.
And then considering the fact that Stupenzo just mentioned the vinegaroon, that's
Yeah.
this.
Oh,
It's basically
guys-
like
oh my god.
yeah.
Why don't you guys
That
check
looks-
out coconut crabs? Wait till you find out about coconut crabs.
Dude, I posted on Twitter
Like-
about coconut crabs. Like
They're
not too much.
gigantic.
Those motherfuckers are scary.
and you can't eat them either because apparently they're gross tasting. It's like bummer.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Dungeness crab where it's not really It's
It's
like
yeah.
Yep. Well, yeah. Back to the Nightmare
I
Before
was gonna
Christmas.
say, can we like squash the bug part of the screen?
sure,
We're
well,
almost
coconut
there.
We're
crab.
getting
No,
bugged down.
I don't want to.
Coconut crab is technically
I
not
don't,
a bug,
I don't want
so
to see
it's
that. That's nasty. What the hell, dude?
you're married to a dude from Australia. He's seen crazier
Yeah,
bugs
that's
than we
true,
ever
yeah.
have,
Bug.
man.
If I see a bug, I stick the Aussie on him. Okay, I don't have to deal with that stuff. But I freak out. I can't deal.
Oh man.
I get
Well,
too girly around that stuff.
well, there you go. We're reaching the end of the movie, so this is the good.
This
part
is
where,
we're getting bugged down.
yeah,
what I
we're getting
said.
bugged down, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's keep it
And,
going.
there you go. You've got Santa Claus. That's saving
I've-
Christmas. And I
I've
think
never
it's-
noticed
boy.
the touch. I've never noticed the touch that his pajamas are spread because
Yeah.
that scene always happens so quickly. I've
I've
never
I've
noticed
that
always
that.
thought of
button.
him as kind of like a Tweedledee, Tweedledum lookalike.
Yeah,
That button's
kind
holding on
of
for
has
dear
like.
life.
Does anybody remember the Louis Anderson cartoon?
Life with
Remember
Louis.
that Life of Louis? Yeah. Kind of reminds me of that with the pajamas that didn't fit.
Oh man, but then yeah. So he saves Christmas, and Jack Skellington just goes back to to Halloweentown. Well, he's already in Halloweentown. I mean, he leaves Oogie Boogie's place and goes to actual Halloweentown, where Santa Claus actually does a drive-by. Well, flyby. Yeah.
Drive by.
Yeah, a flyby with some snow, you know.
He says Happy Halloween. It's super weird hearing Santa say that, but it's cool, you know.
Yeah, especially the way that they made him, because you clearly can't really tell. It's a proper silhouette that they put
Yeah.
there, which I appreciate too, because he's fully lit by the moon, which is awesome. Then yeah, he
It
drops
starts
some
snowing.
some snow. Everyone's doing some snow angels, which they all look weird doing, but hey,
Yeah, but it's
This is
so
where they
cool.
learn the magic of Christmas. The
Yep.
meaning of Christmas is about, togetherness. And
Please tell
all
me you
that
have the
stuff.
vampires. Do you have the vampires playing with the hockey on the ice?
no, I mean I don't even remember the vampires playing with the hockey on the
It shows
ice.
the
So
vampires ice
the reason
skating.
I should have asked you to get a still frame of that. So originally, they're playing ice hockey with
Yes.
and there's a head, like a severed head that they're playing with, and
That's
in
the
the original test footage, the head was designed to look like Tim Burton's head, and they convinced him, they convinced Henry Selick. They were like, no, that's not a good idea. He's not going to take that
No.
lightly.
Well,
he should have.
it's one of the things where he regretted he should have asked because he thought maybe it would have been a good gag, but you have to understand Tim Burton only showed up on set a couple times. And
Yeah.
all the times, it was very when he told them the original ending that Oogie Boogie Man is actually Finkelstein, he
Yeah.
kicked a hole in a wall, he threw a tantrum.
Jesus.
He was throwing tantrums like Tom York from Radiohead or something.
Well, they also removed a thing where it was Santa would come back later and they would have a bunch of skeleton kids or something like that. That was originally in the extended, and they took that out too.
The actual screenwriter, I'm forgetting her name, but the writer of Edward Scissorhands, she was saying I could come up with a better ending if you let me. And Tim Burton basically lashed out at an office printer right next to them,
Jesus.
God, nerds.
Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
so we finally get the ending where Dr. Finkelstein he gets his soulmate that can push his chair around, which is pretty
Yeah,
good for him.
quite literally his other half, because half of his
Yep.
brain is in there.
And you've got Sally waiting alone. He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. And Jack realizes that they're finally meant to be.
My
And then-
dearest friend, if you don't mind. Yeah. This last song really hit me hard. at the end here. It's good. It's so sweet.
Yeah,
It's so
I
sweet.
really like the last song. I think that it basically just puts the bow so perfectly on the film. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That was The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I have a couple production notes actually, since I knew you
Yeah,
would do
give them a head,
production.
man.
So, one they actually invented two items for this to facilitate the filming. One was the light alarm, which would warn animators that if any of the stage lights failed to come on, because they had to make sure that the lighting was exactly the same for every shot from day to day, because the shadows wouldn't match up. So they had like sensors all around to be like, okay, all the lights came on.
Yeah.
And number two was they developed a system that the puppeteers could seamlessly switch and replace a puppet if it broke during the shot. Prior to this, either they had to basically do it like manually, but they would had essentially almost like a pulley system that would do it quicker to make it faster. That's like the very definition. That second one is the very definition of like necessity is the mother of invention, because they would have taken it would have taken 10 years to do this if they didn't have that thing. Like,
dude, I can imagine, because stop motion already takes time, as we said before, but making one of the first feature-length stop motion films, that's another task on its own. That's why people didn't actually want to back him up, Tim Burton, whenever he first started it, because they just said, hey, maybe it's impossible, you know?
Yeah, they don't even know how much it's going to cost, or like how many, how many prop heads are you going to need for this? They have no idea. Like,
yeah, how many hours as well, you know? It's like, it's too much, because you can't really say that, yeah, we're going to have the movie done in 2 years, but then once you start filming everything, you realize that it takes 6 months to make a single musical that lasts for 4 minutes. So it's a very hard investment.
So funny.
Basically,
it's a very hard investment.
Yeah. Like I said, I think this movie is like representative of like a craft or the artistic process, and like Halloweentown represents, something you're really good at, something you're mastered at. And then like, yeah, you try to dabble in other things. And I don't know, if you try to stretch yourself out too thin, it's like you can either be a master or like a jack of all trades type thing. But it's also,
I see what you did there.
Right. But also like, I think, like I was saying earlier, like, yeah, current day, modern day metaphors. It's like, yeah, very natural, very naturally to compare it to like this Disney Marvel, the tarnishing of all these IPs, thinking what makes these things work and you can improve upon it somehow,
Yeah.
It's like
I would say that
around for a while.
I would say it's a masterclass in gatekeeping too, because Tim Burton has kept it so close to the vest with everything that's ever been. Like I said, there's a couple of video games that have been written off as canon. There's a couple of things here and there, but for the most part, it's the movie and a few things, and that's it.
Yeah.
And they've tried to pitch ideas for sequels, prequels, side quests in other worlds, the other holiday worlds and stuff. And he's been like, nope. So I think that if more, creators were like treated this stuff like he does, we might not have the problems we have now with these ridiculous continuities that make no sense and these watered down products and stuff.
Yeah, this is the comment that you saved from Abomination AJ, and you need a prequel series about Jack still excited about being the Pumpkin King and creating a lot of their culture and traditions. Yeah, could work.
How does he get the job of Pumpkin King?
Yeah, like does he inherit it from his father or something? Like, we don't know. It's just it's established that he is the Pumpkin King at first, so.
That's it. I mean, maybe he's born into it, like he's royal. Well, or maybe the fact that he's a skeleton is what makes you eligible to be Pumpkin King. It could be something like that. Maybe like you're forced to be born a certain type of creature to be a Pumpkin King. Like to be Dracula, you're forced to be a vampire. Sort of that thing. Like good work.
Or just from Transylvania. It's gotta be the king of Transylvania. It wasn't Transylvania. It was what the hell? It was
Castlevania.
What was his
Pennsylvania.
name? Vlad the Impaler.
Vlad the
I thought it
Impaler
was supposed
was
to be Transylvania because
Romania,
of Vlad the
right?
Impaler.
Isn't it Romanian?
Yeah, but isn't Transylvania in Romania?
That's what I was.
Wallachia. It was Wallachia as I was typing it in. It's
Wallachia. What?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I played a lot of Europa Universalis 4. Okay. Wallachia, which is Transylvania, it's like that whole Balkan region. It's part of that. So.
And yeah, I just pulled this up because it was one of the few production stills. There's the one with Tim Burton that's been up with all the character models.
That's actually the only time he was on set.
He was, like I said, Henry Selick said, he's only been on set like 3 or 4 or 5 times,
Yep, but he gets all the credit. There it is. That's pure marketing there. And
Bud Light, the official beer of Transylvania.
Good
oh
one.
dear.
So I mean, just look at the mayor's hat. It's so long.
Transylvania was actually born Mansylvania.
So
we can't say the name of the spokesperson though. That will get us in trouble.
Demonetized. Yeah.
Really?
Joe Rogan.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Milan Dolvanai.
Yeah, it's like they've become it's like the them that shall not be named. It's like, wow,
yeah.
can't even
It
say
actually,
their
I don't know if it's
like
still on
Voldemort.
the. I don't know if that name is still on like the blacklist of like if you
think
say it
so.
on a stream, it like
For sure. I mean, they probably haven't like modified it anyways. It's probably still on the blacklist, but yeah.
Yeah, but there's actually like a blacklist that like you kind of just learn by trial and error for anybody out there. You don't know if the word is going to demonetize your stream or not until it's too late.
Or demonetize your channel and then boom. You're just
I mean, I've done it to Mr. Brown by accident before. Like it's.
Did you use the C word?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And shout out to Mr. Brown, of course. Mr. Brown Alliance. If you don't know, you can find Rennie, Dark Hour, and myself over there. Stupenzo has yet to.
I will be I will be over there tomorrow.
Yeah.
I should be there tomorrow as well.
Ah, yes. Rennie and me will be streaming again tomorrow.
So this is my Steven. This is my two-host avatar, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I have one as well. Hold on, I'll throw mine up for a second here.
Yeah.
So we have like pseudo matches that were drawn by one Stupenzo.
Oh yeah,
Stupenzo,
Thank you.
Yes, Stupenzo made this, but yeah, there's Halloween again.
I think I still have the Halloween one. Let me see. I think I still have that one.
Right.
Oh, I like that.
Well, then this is the I still have it.
Yeah, Halloween, baby.
And then I had this was my original Halloween one, but people told me it just looks too much like Goku, so I just stopped using it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Colors.
But yeah,
it was orange and black though, wasn't?
I feel weird. I'm the only one on cam.
I used to love Dragon Ball so much, though, when I was younger. It was a fun show.
Yeah, there you go.
I have a few other ones. I have I made a Santa Claus one, which was just literally just throwing a beard on it. But it was like that's Stupenzo as if he was RoboCop. You're much too happy to be RoboCop there.
I got what's it? I got this one, and where do I change my other avatar? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, I got it. Good.
Yeah, you have to roll over the.
I forget how to do it. Here's number 2 right here that I used to use occasionally.
That's terrifying.
But yeah, exactly. It's a little weird.
It's cute and terrifying at the same time. It looks like something you'd see in like The Witcher.
I use it often.
But yeah, that was it. That was the Nightmare Before Christmas, everybody. Yeah, just wanted to say first of all, thank you to the chat for tuning in. You guys were awesome today, and thanks for spending your time with us because yeah, we've been going for almost 3 hours, and man, for me, time is the most precious thing that someone can give a person. But so yeah, you guys are giving it to us, and thank you to everyone also who gave super chats as well. Thank you, Waylon Bicephus, Northern English Bastard. Really appreciate you guys, and I guess we're gonna have our round table where you plug your shit, ladies and gentlemen.
We need. Once I get this my soundboard going, I'll get a like.
Dude, we need to do that.
Yeah,
we need to plug your shit. So, ladies first, ready?
Yeah. Aside from this, not too much going on. Of course, I am typically on Brown's channel about once a week, as often as I can make it. So check out Mr. Brown Alliance. Those of you guys that are huge Godfather fans, trying to get Brown to get the 3rd Godfather movie into place, but we're going to try to do Coda instead of the original 3 because Coda's just a better version of it. So We'll see if and when that happens, but great version of it compared to the original. But yes, check out Brown. Good guy. Little what's the word I'm gonna use here?
Eccentric.
Yeah,
Is that the word you're looking for?
And Brown, you've got stuff like the Brown sigh, or we're gonna move on, but we're really not. We're sidestepping, but that's all part of the
that's become a thing whenever I'm on. When I'm like he's let's move on. I'm like, and I'm just like, no, we're not going to.
Yeah, because like moving on has always been like a catchphrase, but like he never moves on, so it's kind of always been a thing. But
and of course, there's always the good the one everybody knows. Look at that.
Yeah,
that was a poor Mr. Brown impersonation.
Yeah.
I can't even hear myself. It's like these are.
And I think he's trying to get together also a shitty ships. What is it? Not semifinals or whatever.
I haven't even watched those streams. I'm rarely home around at that time.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Yeah. Definitely recommend. So, aside from being vegan and a biker, he's a good guy. Even with
and like a legitimate cyclist, not like a vegan biker or like a motorcycle.
Like vegan cyclist makes more sense. I was like, vegan biker.
He's not strictly a spin cycle kind of person. He literally goes out on his bike and rides his bike outdoors.
Does he wear the suit? The little...
I think he does.
Okay.
Check out his pic on Twitter. So.
Right.
Yeah, Mr. Brown's in damn good shape.
Mr. Brown is in great shape, and he's also like a phenomenal person. You guys, if you haven't checked out his channel, please do.
I have a feeling most of our fans are his fans, though. So
I see a lot of similar faces or same
for
faces.
people watching the re-upload, well, check out Mr. Brown if you've never heard of him, and you'll see the links will be there. And Stupenzo, what about you, man? Plug your shit.
Well, I'm hoping to get on Mr. Brown one of these days, pop my brown cherry. But I'm just gonna be doing the Wii watches on Wednesdays and the Dorkside streams on Mondays. I think this Monday I'm gonna do an earlier one, and I'm hoping maybe this Wednesday I might have a surprise movie for you all. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's just fun coming out here, nerding out with y'all, talking about movies that are allegories for the voter. The idea of what it's like to be a voter in this day and age is how it reminds me of this movie. I don't know. Anyway, Rennie, do you want to do this? You want to sing this with me? Let's see. My dearest friend, if you don't mind, I'd like to sit by your side where we can gaze into the stars and sit together now and forever.
I don't know her lines, or I join in.
For it is plain as anyone can see. We're simply meant to be. There you go. What a lovely song.
I would have joined you, but I really hate my singing voice, and that's why I only do it at home.
Acapella, baby. Singing won't get you on Browns. Oh yeah, I don't give a shit about that. I sing all the time. I'm a karaoke guy, man. Come on.
Well, and now that
he's in a band,
he's on Brown. He might not bring you on.
I'm a musical. I'm saying I'm not thinking like, I'm gonna sing to get on Browns. Is what I'm saying.
Stupenzo does what he does, and
I sing all the time. If you watch my Wii watches, I sing something on almost all of them.
He does. He does. I've been on at least 4 Wii watches, and he's sung on all of them. So
the dogs. No,
Waylon, didn't you hear me? I said meant to be.
He did.
I sang it. There.
He did sing before. It was very brief, but he did sing.
So I stepped out for a minute. Stupenzo, did you plug everything you needed to?
Yeah. Check out my channel, Stupenzo. Check me out on Twitter, Stupenzolicious.
Yeah, check out Stupenzo. He's probably the one of the best YouTubers that you're not watching.
I think I'm like a handful, like a dozen or so away from 300 subscribers. So
we're gonna get you there. Don't worry.
We can dine in hell tonight if you want. If we get it up there.
Yeah, Stupenzo is gonna do an incredible karaoke stream whenever he hits 1,000, and when he hits 100,000 and 10,000.
Yeah,
so
I think I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do Yakko's World when I get to 500, and then when I get to 1,000, I'll do like 2 or 3 songs, and then I'll probably just do 2 or 3 songs every 1,000 after that.
You should
forever.
invite what's his face over, Doomcock. He loves to sing. You
Oh
guys can
yeah,
have a sing off.
yeah.
Really?
I mean, yeah, you got connections. I'll talk to. I'll just hit up Doomcock. Yeah,
Rennie
Doomcock,
Rennie
get on
is
my channel.
actually like the most disproportionately connected person I've ever met. She just like
Wow.
knows everybody that you mention it, and she's like, "Yeah, I was a mod for that person for like 35 years." It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense.
I think it might be better for me to go on Doomcock's channel, honestly. But yeah, you can come on Dark Side anytime, any Monday. That goes for all y'all, by the way. Mondays are pretty open invites.
Yes, sir. So check out Stupenzo if you haven't once again. And Dark Hour. Plug your shit.
Well, I already said earlier I'm going to be on Brown stream tomorrow. I'm going to be on Cannoli stream. I don't know if I have anything going on Tuesday. I don't think there's anything that I'm doing on Tuesday. I still have to do my second half of Loki, like reactionary video, which you know is going to be a little different. It's not going to be like an edited video. It's literally going to be like I watch what I said about it, and then like just kind of be like, oh well, this is they addressed this, they didn't address this kind of thing. You know, like you know, upon further review is what I'm thinking about calling it. You know, like because I did the first half of the show, and then there was a lot of people who got mad at me because they were like, you haven't waited till the end of the show, and I'm like, that's at the point. This is the first half. I'm gonna do the second half after that. But yeah, other than that, I don't have any reviews I want to do anytime soon. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna be. I think for 2024, I'm gonna be a little bit more selective because there was a few that I put a lot of work into that I just like they didn't really do anything. Like people didn't watch them. I didn't really enjoy it. Like you know,
yeah, like you basically just did what was current, but not what.
Yeah,
you
it's like I don't like if you're doing a review, you kind of either it's got to be one or the other. Either it's got to be like something people really watch, or you really got to like it. Hopefully both. You do like when you're reviewing something, you hit the, but it's got to be one or the other. And there was ones where I struggled to get through it, and it didn't do anything for me. And I was like, okay, I got to be a little bit more selective. But yeah, so I'm not really sure what I am going to do a year end kind of like roundup of like you know all like. No, I think I'm going to talk more. It's going to be more of like a video essay about like how the year was, like you know, including like the things like the strike and stuff, and you know, the surprises of the year, the things that I think going forward might happen for 2024. But yeah, so I'm kind of pre-writing some of that as of right now because majority of the year is over, so I could write a big chunk of it. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Awesome, cool. And your Marvels video, you're not plugging that.
Yes, the Marvels video. I mean, it's like it did pretty well, and I thought I did a pretty good job with something, and I got it out quicker than a lot of the big professionals, which was pretty cool. What is it? I beat Disparu by like 5 minutes or something like that, which is impressive because I'm pretty certain that guy's glued to his chair. So, Drinker beat me by about an hour. I had messaged him. I was like, "Damn you beat me by just this much."
Yeah, I bet you.
And he saw it like 2 days before I did. So I was like,
dude, I was thinking, maybe some of you guys aren't familiar with Papa Meat or Meat Canyon, but I bet you if Meat Canyon does a caricature of Disparu, he'll probably make it weird with him stuck to the chair or something like that. Oh man, I can imagine.
Like me and like how Uninspired's been perpetually working on his. Are you still working on the Old Boy video?
Dude, yes, 120.
Yeah, I'm still working on my Renfield video. Yeah, exactly. It's like we'll take our time. Damn it, it'll come out in a week or two, bro.
I'm aiming for a February release, actually. So
I'm trying to get mine out before around Thanksgiving before I go out of town. I'm spend the next week working on it. I got the script done. So
nice, dude. My script isn't even done. I'm still in the collecting info phase, and I haven't even watched the director's commentary. Right now, all I have are interviews. And analysis.
This video is going to be 9 years long. Is what it's going to be. You're going to have to like.
Well, one of the things that I'm happy about is that I always manage to make short stuff out of very big ideas that I have. So yeah, it'll probably be around, let's say 25 to 30 minutes. I hope so. Yeah, because I have the. Well, the thing is that it's an analysis video, and for me, whenever I do an analysis video, I have to know the movie. Like back to front, basically by heart, in addition to knowing all the cast and interview stuff back and front by heart. So it's more work put into the research than it is into the actual script, because I narrow it down. I'm taking it as Old Boy as a modern Greek tragedy. So I can't speak about everything in the movie. You see what I mean? But yeah. But yeah, Dark Hour, check out his stuff if you haven't. For the people who are watching who aren't familiar with two hosts or new subscribers, or the people who are watching the re-upload, yeah, do check out.
Which
Dark
has actually
Hour.
slowly been getting its own little kind of following, so that's good because
Yeah.
like it doesn't have, yeah. So
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we do have a two-host re-upload channel. That's where everything goes. Instead of keeping them on our channels, it's much easier to just upload everything to a second channel. So you can check everything there. Links are in the description, of course, for all of our guests, including Lance, who sadly had to,
who
leave.
unceremoniously ditched us.
He had to eat his soup. The last
He's
thing
like,
he
I
said
gotta
was
go
like,
eat soup.
yeah, the last
damn
thing he
it.
said was like, my soup's almost ready.
And then he was like, see you later.
Yep, basically.
But last thing before we leave, I think what do we have coming up next? Let me take a look at our schedule. So
We don't have anything for 2 weeks. Well, while you're checking up
Yeah.
the schedule, I'll plug my own stuff. So yeah, in
I
terms
thought
of
that's what the old
videos-
boy thing was.
Oh no.
Go on.
In terms of videos, I'm gonna have my Marvels review out. I think Monday. It's gonna be almost done. I'm editing. I've been editing actually for the past like 24 hours. So yeah, I'm gonna be editing again for the next probably 48 hours. So yeah, but I'm cooking. I'm really cooking. I'm trying some new stuff on the editing front. I'm very happy with the script as well. I broke down the Marvels on how bad it is, from the script to the cinematography to the editing to the score, even down to the details there. So yeah, I do fairly remain objective. I don't shit on the movie where it doesn't need to be shit on, but yeah, I give a fair review, very fair.
One might say that he keeps his poop in a box.
Oh,
He doesn't shit everywhere, just in a small area.
Did you say you're going to be on Lance's Napoleon stream? Are you talking about next Tuesday for his Nielsen thing? Or
No, it's not. It's not on Tuesday. It's after the
Okay.
movie comes out. So I think he's watching the movie on Thursday, and I'm also going to be watching it on Thursday. So maybe we'll do it after the movies, like after we come back from the cinema, or on Friday or Saturday. So yeah.
Okay.
So that's
So-
for me in terms of videos. It's the Marvels videos, and in terms of live streams, I'm gonna be on with Jacob Ironside on Tuesday. Actually, we're gonna be talking about a Hitchcock movie. But I'll do another community post on Monday after I post my Marvels video to just update you guys on everything else throughout the week. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Yeah, go ahead,
And
Dark Hour.
I just double checked. We're going to take a slight hiatus for not very long, but we're going to be back at the beginning of December. Well, middle of December. For the 9th of December for Superman the Motion Picture, which also has Rennie on it as well.
Yeah,
and Mr. Brown and possibly the Mega Geek. But I haven't spoken to Ian in a while, so hopefully he'll be on tomorrow, so I can confirm that with him.
What's the next one I'm on? Krampus?
You're on Krampus, about a week later from that. With December is almost every single week.
Every week, actually.
Yeah, except the only one that we don't have in December is we don't have the 2nd. We're taking the 2nd off.
Yeah,
but yeah, the 9th,
Well,
the 16th,
not
the
to remind
23rd,
me.
and the 30th. I'll remind you, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, so the next two are Superman and Krampus. So.
Yeah, Krampus is as I said at the beginning. Yeah, Krampus was my personal choice, man. I basically forced Dark Hour. I told him, "Fuck it, it's Christmas. We're doing Krampus. It's my tradition. I watch it every year." And, yeah, it's gonna be fun. And I think that's it. I think we can wrap up. Does anyone have anything else to add?
No, I'm tapped out on things to say.
Yeah, my brain
Already?
is going.
All right.
Oh, I mean, I could still go on for another hour about the deep philosophical meanings of this movie, but I'm not going to spare y'all.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so with that being said, I would like to thank the guests, thank the chat, thank my co-host.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who sent super chats. Thank you to everyone that was here. Dark Hour, I thank you, my co-host. Stupenzo, Rennie, thank you for both being here. Lance, thank you for being here as well. Even though you had to leave, but yeah, thank you guys, all of you guys for giving us your time. And I think that's about it. And I think Dark Hour, you're the outro man, because I always fuck it up. So see ya, everybody.
Bye.